Mic check. Mic check, mic check. Hello! Emuri だよ Hi guys, Emuri here. How's everyone doing? Tokoyami Ame-san, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. ありがとう。Gatorsaur さん、ありがとう。Thank you so much for coming earlier and coming to this stream as well. Thank you so much. I saw your video. I'm very happy. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Yay! Yay! I'm happy too. ありがとう。Thank you so much for your support. Ikolori さん、welcome. Thank you so much for coming. ルックさん、Hi, Emi. Hi, ルックさん。ありがとう。ありがとう、来てくれて。ゆりかちゃん、エムリ。Hi, ゆりかちゃん。Thank you so much for coming. Good job on your stream earlier. I'm so sad I missed the part you get to, is it pronounced Diruku? Yeah, I'm so sad. That's too bad. But, I'll go back and watch archive later. Yeah. Yeah, mic check. Standard mic check. Vince-san, hello, thank you so much for coming and thank you for subscribing. ありがとう。Yeah, I can't believe I missed Ryuku and Yurika-chan's stream. I left just before she encountered him. I need to stream Genshin too. Yeah. Yeah, we'll both watch archive. Yeah. So. Alright guys, today is a test of what if we'll finish Higurashi first and my PC will die first. I'm honestly thinking we're almost at the end. そう、Higurashi もうすぐ終わると思うんだけど。でも長いよね。Yeah, it's been long, so I'm not sure. And I have one thing to show you guys that I did not prepare at all. So give me a second to get that on screen. It should be somewhere. どこだろう。パンパンパンパン。I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to put a new one. Alright. Are we starting with 100% laptop battery? I started with 100%, but it's already at 98%. So I guess we're starting with 98%. Oh no! ダグさん、hello, welcome! いらっしゃい。ありがとう、来てくれて。いつもありがとう。Oh, here it is. はい、これ。I wanted to show you guys this. So I made a poll. So I'm gonna be having a violin stream this weekend, but I wasn't sure what day and what time to do it. It's gonna be in the afternoon, but yeah. So I made a poll on Twitter. So if you guys could go vote, that would be great. So 今週末ね、バイオリン配信するんだけど、リクエスト弾くやつ。でもね、何日にやるか、あと何時にやるかわかんなくて、だからちょっとツイッター投票作ったんだけど、ぜひ投票していただければ嬉しいです。Gatorsaur さん、Also, I can only hang out for about 30 minutes. I got to be up at 4 a.m. tomorrow. No problem. Sleep is important. Yeah, thank you so much just to come and say hi. Yeah, ありがとう。Takiro-chan, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. So yeah, guys, if you guys could fill out or just leave a not fill out, but if you guys could just leave a preference on which day and time works the best, let me know. Okay, there's Saturday at 12 p.m., Saturday at 2 p.m., and Sunday at 12 p.m. and Sunday at 2 p.m. And keep in mind that these are in Eastern time zone, so make sure to choose the time that's best for your time zone. Okay? そうこれはね、イースタンタイムの時間帯なので、はい。ちゃんと自分の時間帯で一番いい時間を選んでください。はい。Let me get rid of that. Alright, so we should play some Higurashi. Yeah, before my PC dies again. Alright. パンパンパン。はい。I'm gonna turn off the music, okay? Alright. はい、静かになった。Alright, so I'm gonna go to configurations and turn up the volume. そしていつも言い忘れたりするんだけど、これは英語版の日暮らしなので、ほとんど英語となります。はい。 でも、日本語で説明してほしいものがあれば聞いてください。Yeah, this will be mostly English stream just because I'm playing the English version of Higurashi. Can you guys hear this? BGM チェック大丈夫かな? It might be a bit soft right now just because it's, what is it? There's not much going on in the BGM. 2 p.m. ET is like 3 a.m. where I live. I'm gonna be sure to watch archives going. Oh, no problem. So if 2 p.m. ET is 3 a.m. where you live, then 12 p.m. is also 1 a.m. 遅いね. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm only doing afternoon for a violin stream. But thank you so much, because I don't want to be playing violin at night and annoy everyone in my house. Yeah, sorry about that. But thank you so much. Yeah, just watch the archive. Yeah, ありがとう. BGM green. Good. Okay. So what happened yesterday? I think Keiichi started... Oh, we left off where Keiichi was asking Oishi-san, the detective, about Rena-chan, right? Yeah. He also got kind of a scary visit from Rena-chan. And also he's all home alone because his parents aren't home. Yeah. Ikalori-san, too early as well for me, so I'll watch our archives. No problem. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm happy either way. I'm sorry that I can't stream at a time that works for everyone. ごめんね. Yubis got slammed. Yes. Yeah, and Keiichi like slammed Rena's Yubis in the door. Her fingers. I will be playing Flight of the Bumblebee. I found the sheet music online. はい。聞きますよ. Yeah, Flight of the Bumblebee. Let's go. What if I'm actually able to play it? But yeah, got it, Gator-san. I will play it, don't worry. Ruka-san, then Keiichi did some small brain move. Indeed, he did. That is exactly what he did. Keiichi is just stupid. Matoryoshika-san, hello, welcome to my stream. ありがとう来てくれて. We're about to hopefully finish up Higurashi. Let me know if you want me to explain anything. And this goes for all of you guys. Let me know if you need me to explain anything or if there's anything you're confused about, because there's just been so much content that I'm not going to just explain the whole story right now. Yeah. Hello, Tai-san, welcome. ありがとう来てくれて. Hi, welcome. Is the BGM okay? I hope the BGM's okay. It should be some spooky music. Spook. If it's too loud, let me know. BGM 音量大きかったら教えてね。その大きくしてほしかったら教えて。Tai-san, did I say hi to you? Oh my gosh, I already forgot. Tai-san, welcome. ありがとう来てくれて。ゆりかちゃん. Oh, Bumblebee. I'll be there whatever time. Alright. Cool. Bumblebee time. Anyway. Spoopy BGM good. Alright, let's get started. Lancel-san, hello, welcome. ありがとう来てくれて嬉しい. I'm so happy so many people are here. Woo! ありがとう. BGM sounds good? Alright, let's keep going. It seemed that Rena lived in Hinamizawa a long time ago. This is some Rena lore, guys. She had moved to Ibaraki Prefecture after she finished elementary school. Is my model shaking? Guys, give me a second. This model can get kind of wacky. That should be okay. Alright. Then, following that, right after transferring, the unfortunate incident with the breaking of the school windows happened. Then Rena confided to the doctor. It was Oyashiro-sama. This was all that he knew. There isn't much difference between what I know and what you know, Maebara-san. Then what part did you investigate further? I didn't need to ask. It was the incident that happened just after she transferred. The incident Rena was responsible for, and what she divulged to the doctor afterward. Oh, this was Keiichi. The incident Rena was responsible for, and what she divulged to the doctor afterwards, correct? Yes. After you learned about that, you started suspecting Rena and the others, didn't you? Yes, I did suspect them. Kei-san, good morning! おはようWelcome to my stream. ありがとう来てくれて嬉しい I'm happy you're here. Welcome and enjoy the stream. I'm playing Higurashi.
Yes. Oh wait. Yeah. Yes, I did suspect them. So they're the ones after all? No. That's not what I meant by suspect them.
Oishi-san was the type of person to say things with confidence, but these particular words were less than reassuring. Kamizato-san, hello, welcome to the stream. ありがとう見に来てくれて I'm playing Higurashi. Then, who did you suspect?
That it was Oyashiro-sama. Huh? That Oyashiro-sama's curse really exists. Yeah, right. Well, ha ha ha.
Oishi-sama's laugh was quite dry, certainly not the kind that would make you want to join in. Oishi-san resumed the conversation about the dubious circumstances behind Satoshi's disappearance, the course of events up until the start of delving into Rena's past. Oh no. Oh no! Just then there was thunder in the distance, and a heavy rain started pouring down. Is this loud, guys? 大丈夫 BGM? Is it loud? It seems a little loud for me. I just choked on my words. It seems a little loud for me. I don't know. Tell me if it's loud. It came without warning. Rain so heavy it felt like it could beat you down. A little? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Oh wait, it's gone. Oh wait, never mind, it's not gone. Alright, let me lower. ちょっと待ってね。Is it the BGM? Yeah, it is the BGM. Okay. Maybe like here. このぐらいがいいかな。はい。A little, but it's okay. Alright, I'm just gonna put it at that then. Just then there was thunder in the distance and a heavy rain started pouring down. It came without warning, rain so heavy it felt like it could beat you down. I had left the window in my room open a crack to let the heat out. The violent wind danced into my room, making the curtains flap wildly. What is it? Nothing. It suddenly started raining heavily. Sorry, please continue. I got up while I was still on the phone and closed the window.
I said at the beginning it was an incident, but because neither the school nor the victims filed charges, the police were never involved. So you see, those involved were very reluctant to talk, regardless of there being a victim who had one eye beaten so badly that it had permanent damage. It could have been the school, or possibly some individual who made arrangements to keep this from going public. Also, the psychologist was very strict about their professional ethics. Hello? Maebara-san? Can you hear me? Eh?
There was the figure of a person standing by the light near the mailbox this whole time. Maybe it's Rena-chan with her broken fingers. Keiichi apologized to her. Rena-chan kana? Even in this torrential rain, they didn't have an umbrella. They were unquestionably drenched from head to toe. In this shower, which more resembled a waterfall, droplets of water dripped down from her hair. 絶対 Rena-chan. I knew it! Oh no! Oh no! Just standing there, both arms dangling at her side. Keiichi, this is what you get for smashing her yubis. Oh no! In one hand was a stack of boxes wrapped in cloth. Her eyes focused on my room, focused on me as I was about to close the window. Her mouth was methodically repeating a chewing motion. It was as if she had something hard to chew in her mouth, with her cheeks puffing out. Maybe she's eating the food that you didn't eat, that she made for you. What could she be eating over there? How could it be at this time I was more enthralled by Rena, instead of the shocking developments being brought to light by Oishi-san? If it hadn't started raining, I wouldn't have gone to the window. Then I wouldn't have noticed Rena, nor would I have noticed that. Rena's mouth was moving in the same pattern.
Or she's gnawing on her fingers. Oh no, I'm really scared. She wasn't eating something. She was repeating something. What was it? Rain. Is she chanting like a rain ritual thing? Was she repeating? To me? What was she saying? And why was I right up against the window, fixated on her? Hello? Maibara-san? Can you hear me? Hello? I'm sorry. Huh? Maibara-san? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。Hello? Maibara-san? What's the matter? Even in this torrential downpour, Rena was still apologizing. Oh, Rena's the one apologizing. I thought it was him. ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。The other self inside me drew the curtain hastily with my right hand, blocking my view of the outside. But even doing that, Rena's relentless apologies still reached my ears. ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I forgive you for this, will you forgive me for that? Who is this? Is this Keiichi or Rena? Sorry, I think it's Keiichi. I'm sorry. If I forgive you for this, will you forgive me for that? Yeah, there's no more ooh. Ooh days are over. Keiichi ruined them. Steven-san, welcome! Thank you so much for coming. Arigato! Crazy girl apologizing. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop! I'm sorry. 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 Damn it! Why did I have to forgive her? I'm the one who wants to be forgiven. What part of me can't you forgive? I won't be killed. If you won't forgive me, then I won't forgive you either. I won't forgive. 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 Maibara-san? If you can't hear me, then please respond. Hello? Yikes. ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい。Yeah. 許せない、許せない、許せない、許せない。Oh, did I just finish the chapter? I didn't know we even had chapters to finish. The music. セーブしよっか。セーブしよう。Let's save. Alright, let's look at new tips. チップの時間だよ. Split personality and at the 7th mart. Remember like she said she saw Keiichi buying noodles at the 7th mart? It's Rena? Oh my gosh, why don't they put it in quotation marks so I know? 許せない、許せない、許せない、許せない. Anyway, it's probably gonna come up again. Yeah. I don't know, honestly. Let's watch. These are the tips. はい、チップ読みます. I see it in movies quite often, but what is it exactly? Multiple personalities are thought to be escapism. Let's see. This should be a good volume. Multiple personality disorder is a form of escape? Correct. The exact mechanism is not fully understood, but it's believed to be a type of defense for the brain to retain mental stability. Hypothetically, poor people imagining themselves as wealthy is a form of escapism, is it not? Maki-san, hello, good morning. Thank you so much for coming. Arigato. Gator-san, Rena in Mart's talking, watching. Yes. Is this also a form of multiple personality disorder? I wouldn't go that far, but broadly speaking, one could infer that. Something that occurs in us all. Does a split personality occur when one cannot tell which is reality and which is the escape? That's difficult to say. There are some who agree with that and some who disagree. There is no consensus. Then is the occurrence of multiple personalities still an unknown phenomenon? Something not fully comprehended in the psychiatric field? Unfortunately, that is the current state of things. We can only put our hope in future research.
But it's sort of cool having a split personality. Is this Rena? I think this is Rena, but I'm not gonna assume. What kind of people get split personalities? Recent studies find that those who develop it, or rather those who are more susceptible to developing it, may be genetically predisposed or may have had abnormal mental development. Some say that childhood abuse increases the chances. Speaking of which, person A here experienced abuse as a child, didn't he? How sad. Person A has 7 different personalities. 7! Wow. Gatorsaur-san, this game creeps me out. It's like watching Corpse Party. Corpse Party is scarier, I think. Oh my gosh, the printer in my room just went on. That scared the shit out of me. Yes, there's a printer in my room that my family uses. Oh my gosh. That means someone's gonna come to get papers. Oh my god. It's time to move the printer out of my room. Can you guys see the printer in the back? Oh my gosh. Yikes. We almost cut our fingers. Now I feel so bad. Me too, I feel bad too. Alright. Emi-chan cuss. Sorry, it really scared me. It just went on all of a sudden. I hate when it does that. It's like when it sounds creative but you didn't create the sound, you know, it's scary. Okay guys, give me a second. I'm gonna give them the papers. Alright, I'm back. Social interaction. Alright, back to the game. I didn't mean to make swear words, but it happens sometimes. Hiya. Yeah, they came to the room, so I just, you know, gave them the papers and I was like, okay, here, leave. Okay, person A has 7 different personalities. Let's watch a video of him. Right after these commercials. What? 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 I got debated. I just got debated. どういうこと？コマーシャルの後って。I got bamboozled. Wasn't there another game with multiple personalities? I don't remember. テレビ番組かよ。ねえ。Ads. Killer 7. I never heard of it. Alright, at 7th Mart, sorry. The 7th Mart was a bargain supermarket with food and alcohol. Oh, hell yeah, stuff I love. Food and alcohol. Woo. Sounds like a great place, right? What's this, Keiichi? So many. There's no reason to get all the different kinds, is there? Oh, this is Keiichi's mom. Yeah. Context clues. I flopped out the different colored cup noodle bowls into the cart. Cup noodles have gotten so elaborate recently, and there are a bunch of different types. I want to try each of them at least once. I knew it was pretty selfish of me, but I thought I'd at least give it a try. Keiichi, buy them in the big case, it's cheaper. Yeah, buy them in bulk. Sponsored by 7 Mart. Cup nudes. Keiichi, buy them in the big case, it's cheaper. Dad faltered. Well, I had a feeling it'd end up like this. Dad knew there was no point in him butting in. Then I'd only get to eat one kind. I get bored with it. I was resisting as a formality. Don't they have like big packs of different kinds though? They should have that. I had already given up inside and wasn't sure which case of cup noodles to get. If you can't pick, then mommy will pick for you. Thank you, mommy. You don't have to rush me. I quickly searched the cases of noodles for what I want. Pork bone and ginger, large cup? Hey Keiichi, can you get a more normal one? That sounds good though, pork bone and ginger. Tonkotsu to shoga. If I let mom pick, she'd err on the side of safety and get soy sauce or salt flavored. Pork bone is good. I don't want a big bowl of tasteless stuff. Yeah, sorted pack. Let's go. Where's the sorted pack at? It's Japan. They should have everything. I remembered insisting that the noodles I picked were the right kind. In this frozen memory in time, this encapsulated world, I didn't have the power to look around my surroundings. So I did what I could and reached out with my hearing and vision, sharpened my senses to find the presence I overlooked. No matter how much I searched through my field of vision, I couldn't see Rena. I rewound the situation, searching, but of course I couldn't find her. I mean, she's a pro stalker, there's no way you'll find her. レナちゃんはプロだからね、ストーキングの。Then, was she spying at me from my blind spot? I go through the sound and presences again looking. I could sense the other customers. They were all mixed about, moving as they please. There was nobody looking over this way and no one trying to get behind me. Not here, couldn't be here, probably wasn't here. I would definitely notice if someone was right behind me, even when I wasn't on my guard. I smiled wryly at the thought of using a vague word like probably right before contradicting it with definitely. Yikes. Then, I paused my mental replay as a chill ran down my spine. There was definitely a presence like a shadow behind me. There was a terror unlike any other. If a presence really had manifested behind me, I would definitely have turned around to check for it. But the world had moved on, and there was no way for me to turn around. While carrying the frightening shadow on my back, I was gleefully running around the store searching for a case of noodles. Running through the instant noodle section, bad-mouthing my mom. But there was that presence constantly at my back, sticking to me like a shadow. No way to see what it was. Realizing it now after the fact was horrifying and repulsive. In the moment of time, I was running around gleefully, carrying that cardboard box, tip-tap. But listening to that moment again, I could hear footsteps other than mine going pit-pat with every step. William-san, welcome! ありがとう来てくれて. I'm playing Higurashi. Thank you so much for coming. We're getting to the yabai parts. Apparently, yeah, Keiichi's trying to remember how and when Rena was stalking him. Tip-tap, tip-tap, tip-tap. Pit-pat, pit-pat, pit-pat. Tip-tap, tip-tap. Pip-pat, pip-pat. Tip-tap, tip-tap. Pip-pat, pip-pat. While I was running, the sound of those barefoot footsteps going pip-pat were right behind mine. Me running around gleefully in that closed-off moment in time. But I didn't hear it. No, I heard it. That's why I remembered it. I didn't think I had heard anything. I feel like this is hindsight bias. Do you guys know that psychology term? It's called hindsight bias, but it's when just because you were told something later on after something had happened, now you think it actually happened. You know, this almost feels like that. That's why I didn't turn around. That is why I didn't turn around. In that moment, the pit-pat of those footsteps were following me the entire time. I couldn't run faster and escape. I couldn't run any faster than I had ran at that time. I couldn't turn around. Oh guys, I'm about to sneeze. Okay, I held it in. くしゃみしそうになっちゃった. Alright, I hadn't turned around before, not once. Then I returned to my parents and started talking. The shadow-like presence was right at my back. Since I didn't move, the shadow didn't move. That is why I made no sound. That was all. At that time, I hadn't taken a single step while talking with my parents. I was just standing there. This was undeniable. And yet, I heard it. A pip-pat. That shouldn't be. If I took 3 steps, it followed 3 steps. Wasn't that the rule? There was no sound other than that. At that time, the entire world had gone dark. A sudden darkness. It was the end of my reflective journey. I was tired. I wanted to end it, Someone turned on the light, except my body couldn't move, as if I was sewn into that moment in time. Pip-pat. My past self's hair stood on end. That's impossible? Now that's just breaking the rules. I haven't moved. What is he talking about? So you shouldn't be moving either. I couldn't move. So you shouldn't be able to move either. Follow the rules. Pip-pat. Yet that sound echoed in the darkness once again. We have been deprived of an Emmy sneeze. It was so close that it was hard to tell whether it was touching the hair or not. Why couldn't I move, like how the presence was moving behind me? I quickly realized I could move. It's just that I was scared and didn't want to. But now was the only time I could turn around. It was something unforgivable in this moment in time, but I needed to turn around immediately. As if my entire being was trying to force me to stop, it began to administer a pain like a needle being stuck into my every pore. Why does Keiichi always have a need to turn around? Wait, let me lower the brightness. Sorry, I'm gonna get really close, okay? Because I'm leaning in. I'm gonna lower the brightness on my computer and maybe that'll help it stay alive a little longer. Alright. I'll turn around. I'll turn around. I'm not scared at all. I'll turn around. I'll turn around. I'm not scared at all. A scream I was unable to vocalize. I turned around. At first, I couldn't understand the meaning of it. What? What is this? The situation in front of my eyes. It was like a mouth biting an apple and slurping the juice, the way you would do with an apple. My mind was being eaten. It began to munch down, slurping the juices, because it was like an apple. Meaning, what was in front of me was... Gwah! Was that him? Gwah! I don't know if he's shouting or it's like a sound effect. Nani? Nani? I finished all the tips, guys. This is the achievement you get when you finish all the tips in the game. That means we're about to end the game soon. もうすぐ終わるね、このゲーム。もうチップ全部読んだみたい。Like an apple. That was very confusing and I had no idea what that was. Oh man, I think the next chapter is the last chapter. 次で最後かもね。ちょっと待って。I'm gonna drink some tea. Give me a second. お茶飲みます。Death Note Demon? Dude, this writing is, what? Apples? Yes, apples. Indeed. Yeah, we unlocked all the tips. さあ、次が終わりだぞ。I guess I'd be lying if I said I didn't get any sleep. I tried to stay awake all night, but there were definitely gaps in my memory. I guess I kept nodding off and jerking awake in a panic all night. I spent all night hugging the metal bat and sat on top of the futon I used to barricade my door. Waiting, watching just in case someone tried to break in through my window. If I left the spot, someone would break through the door, sending the futon flying and attack me. No more tips, time for spooky finale, I think. Yeah, I think so too. But if I stopped watching the window, someone would break through the glass and attack me. I tried telling myself I was just being paranoid, but I couldn't sleep. The thought of being so vulnerable scared the living daylights out of me. If sleep I can't talk. If sleep meant taking that risk, I didn't need it. It was so much better to just stay awake. He's gonna crash at some point and they're gonna come and get him. At some point during the endless cycle of nodding off and jolting awake, light began to shine outside, but that was it. It wasn't so much the morning as it was just the sun simply having risen. I snuck a peek out through the curtains. Then I was gone. I couldn't see her anywhere no matter how hard I looked. Need sleep. Everyone enjoy the stream. Stay safe. Emi-chan, Yurika-chan, night. Gator-san, good night. Oyasumi nasai. Arigato kite kurete. Thank you so much for coming. And ganbatte tomorrow. Good luck. Good luck, good luck. Thank you so much for coming. Mata ne. See you again. Yeah, good night. Sweet dreams, yeah. Sleep well, unlike Keiichi. Finally, I could breathe a deep sigh of relief. The night was finally over. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tired, but I didn't feel like sleeping at the moment. I still had time. But I needed to make my own breakfast, so I'd better get started soon. Just eat cup noodles. Sleep is for the weak. Dark Red Sun, welcome to the stream. Arigato. I'm not sure if I saw you earlier, but thank you so much for coming. Skipping school was also an option. Has he been skipping school a lot? Maybe not that much, never mind. With my mom gone, it'd be easy to play hooky. Honestly, I debated it. The risk involved in leaving my house was incalculable, so staying holed up in here was probably my safest option. But staying here wouldn't solve anything. Oishi-san wouldn't help me without cold, hard evidence. Neither he nor my parents. So unless I found some sort of proof, these relentless nights would never end. I stretched my body, tilted my head back, and closed my eyes just like I did every morning. I regulated my breathing and regained my senses. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. Let's go to school. Let's wait until they set their trap for me. But that didn't mean I was just going to twiddle my thumbs. I needed to avoid that trap and secure irrefutable evidence. Take note of the plates of any car that drives by. If I see someone suspicious, check their clothes and face. I wasn't just protecting myself. I was preparing myself to turn the attack against them and retaliate. The tension was similar to when two samurai were both aiming to slay each other with a single motion as they drew their katanas. I was not at a disadvantage. I would have a chance to retaliate. I finally felt a bit of courage growing in my chest. All right, let's go to school. I tightened my grip on Satoshi's bat. He was the only partner I could count on. Satoshi, please lend me your strength. And entrust your dying regrets to me, since you were probably murdered. I'll make sure I dispel them. With renewed resolve, I checked the clock. It was still early. Of course, I was going to school by myself today. If I didn't want to run into Rena or Mion, I needed to leave now. Yurika-chan, lol. The shattered fragments of the cupboard were still strewn all over the entryway. Fix that, Keiichi! Get some flex tape! He shows up the next day like, hey, I'm alive! Hey, that's my back. Give it back. Right. I meant to clean it up last night, but never got around to it with the phone call and everything. Adrian-san, welcome! Thank you so much for watching my stream. Arigato! That's a whole lot of damage! If my parents came back and saw this while I was at school, I would never hear the end of it. Still, I'd be wasting time if I cleaned it up right now, and considering what would happen if I ran into Rena or Mion, it wouldn't be too late to clean it up after I got back home. Making extra certain that the doors were locked, I left the house. Yikes. My uniform was still covered in mud from yesterday, so I left it in the washer. Today I was going to go to school in a tracksuit. By wearing a different outfit this morning, my mind was forced to accept that today was different from yesterday. I mean, yeah, it's not yesterday. Today is today. Yesterday was yesterday. I had a hunch. Today might be the day I get killed. Keep your guard up, Keiichi Maebara. The only one who gets to decide if today is my last is me. Okay. This is some oddly calming music for the day he's gonna get killed. If he doesn't sleep, the day doesn't end. なるほど。I spent the morning practicing my swing like it was my natural routine. After a while, Rena arrived at school. Oh no, how are we gonna face her? We destroyed her fingers. We destroyed her yubis. Too scared. Our eyes met, but we said nothing. Ouch. Ouch. Rena said nothing about last night, as if it never happened. But I could see that those events were real by the wounds carved into her fingers. I just heard her telling Satoko and the others that the bandages were from hurting herself in the kitchen. Oh. Though it wasn't like it bothered me. Keiichi, come on. You smashed her fingers. Yeah, the silent treatment it can be worse for sure. The details that Oishi-san shared about Rena's incident before her transfer played vividly in my mind. Now that I knew about it, I couldn't even dream of Rena as a cute, ideal girl. Yeah, her friends would definitely be Keiichi. Like, he'd die right now, this instant. But Rena's a good girl, right guys? Right guys? Despite her being some split personality, stalker, right? She's just worried about Keiichi, right? And Keiichi, broke her fingers for nothing, right? Not broke, but, hurt them. Maybe he broke them, I don't know. X to Dao. Kei-chan, I see you're still aiming for the nationals. It was Mion. I had already sensed her approach, so I wasn't that surprised. Oh, Mion, if you understand, then leave me alone. I'm busy practicing. I gave her a curt reply with my usual jokes. That wasn't a joke. Then I gave the bat an even larger swing, tactically keeping Mion from getting any closer. Hey, Kei-chan, take it easy. I think Mion got the message, but she still urged me to give it a rest. I remember this scene in the anime. Oh my. Oh no, what's gonna happen? Kawaii. I'm worried. Homeroom's not that far off, is it? Just let me finish practicing. I swung the bat even harder as a sign of my refusal. Kei-chan, when did you get into baseball? Just recently. Recently? You mean yesterday? Don't ask if you already know. Oh dear, that's a very unsportsmanlike reply. You're distracting me. Go away. I ignored Mion and kept swinging. Normally she'd get mad or bored and leave if someone gave her the cold shoulder like this. Mion just stood there, waiting patiently for me to stop swinging. I didn't sense any hostility, but we were at school in plain view. I doubt she'd suddenly attack me here. Or was that too naive? Still, I was starting to get tired. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad to take a break and hear her out. You need me for something, right? What is it? Sweat poured from me as I stopped swinging. I noticed my shoulders were heaving as I breathed. I cursed my lack of exercise. At this rate, I might not be able to move as needed when the time came. I should probably keep practicing my swings to build stamina in addition to the excuse for carrying the bat around with me. Well, it's nothing important. If you're tired, I can ask again later? Now it's fine. I'm only dealing with you right now because I judged the situation to be safe. Talking to you alone and away from others? That's out of the question. Yeah, Kei-chan is cold. Ara, Kei-chan is cold. 冷たいね. Well, Mion was uncharacteristically trying to choose her words, but unlike Oishi-san, it didn't look like she was going to talk about something I'd rather not hear. His arms are made of noodles! Mion was puzzled, trying to find the right thing to say. But then she gave a hearty laugh to break herself out of that mire. Ah-ha-ha-ha-ha! This old man's just no good at this stuff. Having a poor vocabulary hurts. I agree, it does hurt. I feel. What's this all of a sudden?
If you have something to say, just say it. Stop it. Stop that swinging. She cut straight to the point. Her request was so frank, I didn't understand it for a moment. A confession? I wish it was a confession. 告白じゃなかった。残念。I had already stopped swinging to listen to her, hadn't I? I just stopped, didn't I? That's not what I meant. I want today to be the last day you swing that bat. I'm sorry. It took me some time to understand what she was asking for. What's wrong with swinging a bat? Why? It's none of your business, is it? I'm not bothering anyone, am I? You are. Mion said it flat out. This didn't make any sense, and that was really irritating. Why does she refer to herself as this old man? It's because she makes like, old man jokes, kind of. Yeah, so it's just a running joke, I guess. Yikes. When did I bother anybody? Mion was at a loss for words. But she finally made up her mind and spoke, though she stuttered as she said it. Because Kei-chan, that's someone else's bat. You shouldn't borrow it without permission. It was left behind by a student who transferred, right? I'm just borrowing it until he comes back for it. Huh? Yeah, he transferred. Mion grew uncharacteristically flustered. Mion-chan seems like a good girl. Mion-chan, good girl. That made it all too clear that his transfer was a lie. Apparently, tacitly. Oh, that's how it's pronounced. Thank you so much for looking it up for me. Naruhodo. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I'm like, what is that word? Tacitly. Okay. I see. Got it. Thank you. Mion acting kind of sus. I agree. Mion sus. She's still kind of cute, but Mion sus. But strange, isn't it? For the older brother to transfer by himself, while his little sister stayed behind? Mion couldn't hide her reaction as my words shook her up. Kei-chan, you knew? Satoshi Hojo. Satoko's older brother, right? The one he went away last year. Unable to respond to them, Mion fell silent. Wow, he just... See, this is... Keiichi should have been honest like this from the beginning, when he found out everything. And now he's deciding, out of all times, to be honest now. I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna play out. Rena asked the same thing. Why did you start swinging the bat? She told me Satoshi did the same thing, practicing his swings, right before he went missing. So, is this some kind of omen for Oyashiro-sama's curse? Wow, Keiichi is... Wow, okay. Shh. Mion panicked and looked around. Please, Kei-chan, don't mention Oyashiro-sama so recklessly. I don't believe in him, but the others very much do. Rena especially. Oh, okay. Dangerously so. Oh, wow, she doesn't look happy. She's angry. She's mad at us. Oh no. We made best girl mad. Mion seems really good. I'm gonna drink my tea. Watanomimasu. I'm sorry, Mion. Anyway, you're scaring everyone. If you're just fooling around, then stop it. You have to stop acting like Satoshi. I was the one who was scared. Who do I have to thank for taking up this bat in the first place? But it still unsettled me knowing that my actions were overlapping with Satoshi's. It would be one thing if someone suggested it, but I thought I was making my own decisions. I'll say this now. I don't know anything about Satoshi. After all, you didn't tell me anything about him. We didn't mean to hide it. You were hiding the incidents that happen every year, weren't you? That's because we didn't want to, You didn't want to scare me? That's your reason for leaving me out? No, we didn't mean to.
Mion, I asked you directly if someone happened at the dam, didn't I? And you told me nothing happened when someone was dismembered and murdered. You lied to me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lie to you. Friends don't hide things from each other, right? Jeez, Keiichi snapped. Oh my gosh. I think Mion was just being nice, right? Mion was probably trying to make sure she didn't freak him out, because now look at the side effects of him freaking out. He's lost his self. Oh my gosh. Satoshi, we're in the Pokemon world? Yes. Satoshi is Satoko's brother, who used to go to the school before Keiichi transferred, but he went missing. Yeah. He was dragged to the dragon world. Yes. Goodbye, Satoshi. Isn't that right? Then you all aren't my friends. Oh my gosh. Rip. Kei-chan, Mion looked helpless and flustered. Was I imagining the tears in her eyes? I never could have imagined Mion acting like this. It's all your fault, Keiichi. Oh, by the way, those get well mochi you brought the other day, they were good. I thought I was going to bleed. Who did it? You? Or Rena? Me. She admitted it so easily. What if she meant she just made them? 作ったことなんじゃないこれは。If he dies, it's his fault. I agree. At this point, if Keiichi dies, it's his fault. I couldn't help but be surprised at how easy that was. You could have killed me. How could you do that to a friend? But, it was just a little prank. Mion gave me a wry smile mixed with confusion, causing even more anger to well up inside me. So there was something in it, but we don't know what it is yet. What if it was just like a toothpick? 何だったんだろう。実際あったのね。So she did in fact put something in the mochi. You think that was a prank? I grabbed Mion by the collar and lifted her up. Oh no! That wasn't the same as putting Tabasco sauce in a piece of mochi. It was a needle, a sewing needle. If I had swallowed that and it lodged into my throat, what did she think would happen? Mion's face froze as her body rattled in fear. I guess his dream of being a Pokemon master would never come true. Though actually he ain't gonna come true. Anyway. Rip Satoshi. Damn it, Mion, a prank wasn't supposed to kill anyone. If he just treats everyone nicely, he might live. I agree. He's actually being such an asshole. Oh my god. This wasn't the Mion Sonozaki knew anymore. I mean, yeah, she's scared. Anyways, you're not my friend. There's no reason for me to listen to someone who's not my friend. So just leave me alone for a while. Got it? Mion wasn't replying anymore. It won't be that easy to erase me, you know. The cops have been on to you from the start. So don't think you can make me disappear like you did to Satoshi. I said it clearly. Oh my gosh, why is he so stupid? He's so dead. Guys, he's so dead. もうケイイチはもうこれはもう死ぬよケイイチこれはもう殺されるもん。Goodbye, Keiichi. It was nice knowing you. I don't feel bad either. I don't feel bad. This was my declaration of war. I think you guys are suspects. I think you guys are suspects in the previous incidents too. Dude is pretty dead. I also know you spent a lot of time with the cops ever since the anti-dam movement. Don't think you can hide it from me. Got that? How? How did you know? Mion stood there with a dumbstruck look on her face. That was when I heard the principal ringing the bell for school. Baba-san, welcome! Arigato! Thank you so much for coming! I'm so happy you're here! When is Keiichi gonna start swinging that bat? Me too. Excuse my rudeness, but could you please rip Keiichi? Wow, that one's good. Good job. Good one. Nice. 失礼しますが死んでくださいIt was time for morning homeroom. Let's go. The class representative needs to be there, right? At that moment, for the first time, I realized Mion was sobbing as tears ran down her cheeks. We made a girl cry! Actually, no, this is the second girl we made cry. There was nothing good left for us. There was just nothing good. もう終わったよ。女の子の2人も泣かせちゃったし。Yeah, don't be this sort of protag. Don't make the girls cry. You're so mean, Kei-chan. Ah, my heart. Me. I wanted to console her, but I shut my mouth. Oh my gosh. I had no need to feel guilty. Guys, you know Fate Stay Night? This is the Mind of Steel route. If you guys get that, yeah, this is the Mind of Steel route. You just stop caring for everyone. I'm going. Don't be late for homeroom. I left Mion still shaking as I turned around to head for the entrance. I had no idea how troubling it was to make a girl cry. I thought you already made Rena cry once. Behind my back, I could hear her muttering. It was a faint mutter as she was speaking to herself. So that's how it is. Huh? She wasn't saying it to anyone. It was Mion talking to herself, but it was a sobbing voice that had a kind of giddy, cursing tone. I inadvertently stopped and turned back towards her. So it was that bastard. He leaked it all to Kei-chan. She balled up her fists as the tears continued to rain down. She glared at the spot on the ground with a terrifying yet smiling face, cursing. A chill ran down my spine from that demonic expression. クズゆりかちゃん。そうだね、クズだよね、もう。Let me read the comments. Why don't you let the poor girl kill you? Yeah, maybe Mion really liked him. How could he treat her like that, right? They pushed him to this point. I don't know. I almost feel like there's other things going on. I'm not sure. Rena's really sus though, but I'm not sure about Mion. Late violin practice came. Ame-san! Welcome back! You play violin? I play violin too! Sugoi! I'm gonna be playing violin this weekend. And I'm still deciding on a time, so if you visit my Twitter, make sure to vote on the poll for if you're interested in the stream, that is. Let's see. But yeah, that's awesome. Violin's great. Yeah, his parents just left him. The music is making me uncomfortable. They're all sus. Yes, they're all sus, including Keiichi. Don't trust the lolis. The lolis, we haven't seen them in a while. We haven't seen Satoko and Rika-chan in a while. I'm not sure if they're even relevant anymore. Okay, a chill ran down my spine from the demonic expression. This transformation, Mion's transformation, was different from Rena's. I should have killed him back then. He forgot the mercy I showed him just because he was going to retire this year. She's talking about Oishi-san. これはOishi-sanのことだね。Retiring this year? Was she talking about Oishi-san? Damn it. Damn it. Kuso. I'm going to kill. The damn old man! Ah! I mean, if you think about it, Oishi-san's the cause of Keiichi's madness, right? He's the one that told Keiichi everything after Tomitake-san died. Yikes. Mion looks so cute in an anime for now. It felt like air itself had begun distorting. With Mion at the center, the world had begun to twist and spiral, bending, whirling. This was the first time I'd experienced such a visage. Kiitsu! Kyotsuke! Mion made up an excuse for her red eyes by saying there was something wrong with her contacts. Aww, she wears contacts? Wait, I wonder if she actually wears contacts. Because I want to see glasses, Mion. どうなんだろう? What would have happened if nobody told him about the damn incident? He would have been fine. You know, ignorance is bliss. And, you know, they say curiosity killed the cat. And that's exactly what's about to happen to Keiichi. After that, neither Rena nor Mion spoke to me for the rest of the day. I think he would be fine not being asked her. Me too, yeah. Neither Satoko nor Rika-chan looked me in the eye. Oh no, even Satoko and Rika-chan are ignoring us. Strangely, I didn't feel hurt. Mind of steel. Everything had just went back to the way it was. The months since I transferred in had been almost too much fun. You ruined it! That was all. School was supposed to be something like this to begin with. I should have disliked that feeling, but today it felt oddly refreshing. We have 17 viewers! Thank you guys for watching my stream! ありがとう! 配信見てくれて. The bell rung, sounding the end of the monotonous school day, which had felt so tense, yet so dull. Since it would cause a lot of unpleasant memories if they asked me to join into the club activities, I promptly started preparing to go home without even looking at them. Akihito from Kyokai no Kanata? You mean the glasses fetish guy? Good show, by the way. I stuffed the contents of my desk into my bag, wrapped my hand around Satoshi's now familiar bat, and began heading towards the entrance. I need to play Among Us. I still haven't played it yet. I was assailed by both the exhausting relief that nothing had happened today and the tiring possibility of the same thing repeating tomorrow. But deep down inside me, far beneath in the recesses of my heart, achingly, I knew. This will be the last day of the cycle. Guys, it's the final day. I know it. It's the final day. 死んでください. Oh, you also got it? Nice. Honestly, he kind of did make me like glasses a little more, too. Wakaru, yeah. This will be the last day of the cycle. I couldn't tell how the ending would be. Whether it would end as I wished it to end, or if it would end as I hoped it wouldn't. Regardless, in my current state, there was something more important than how things would end. There was something I wanted to know. Why did I have to be killed? How did it come to this? Why? For what purpose? The sunlight was relentless. The sun, the heat, even the air. They wouldn't give me my answers. Or could it be that the cries of the Higurashi were desperately trying to tell me something? Somewhere mixed in with their shrieks, Tomitake-san and Satoshi were also probably trying to tell me something. I simply haven't been able to realize it yet. When I do realize it, I wonder if I will be amongst the Higurashi fruitlessly crying to the next victim. Glancing down at my feet, I saw Higurashi on its back, spasming weakly. Bwee, bwee, bwee. There was still much of the summer left, yet this one was already chirping its last song. I couldn't tell what it was saying, no matter how hard I listened. But I had to try. I had to try to listen to what it was desperately trying to tell me. Keiichi has gone so mad that he's relying on bugs for help. Let me drink some tea. The kids trying to rely on bugs for help. Yes, Higurashis are cicadas. Yes. Higurashi wa semi da yo ne. Indeed. At that moment, the shrills of the Higurashi ceased all at once, as if they had huddled together, fearing that the person who brought them to their dreadful fate had arrived.
There was no mistaking it. A presence was approaching. The sound of footsteps was almost non-existent. If the Higurashi hadn't warned me by ending their chirping, I wouldn't have noticed. My exhaustion left me in a heartbeat. In its place was a rush of adrenaline that sharpened all my senses. You guys have been waiting for this moment. All 7 parts just for this. I was just barely able to hold back that creeping, suffocating feeling of horror. Wait, so the meaning of Higurashi no naku頃に is when the cicadas cry. Yes. That is what it is. Higurashi wa semi da yo ne. I'm just gonna double check in case. But I'm pretty sure there were cicadas. Yeah, they're a type of cicada. Wow, they look big. It's most common in Japan, and its shrill can be heard most often in the morning and the evening. Semi no ishu, Higurashi wa. Indeed. Alright. I was just barely able to hold back the creeping, suffocating feeling of horror. It's probably a reference to summer, you know? Higurashi no naku頃に. It wasn't something I could hold back for long. But in this moment, when I needed to be razor sharp, I was able to retain my composure. Yeah, sorry. I wasn't going to shout like I did yesterday. I hid myself calmly amongst the trees, waiting for my pursuer's shadow. Could I get them to pass by me? No, since I was able to hear the footsteps, they were probably also able to hear mine. They might have already been able to tell that I'd hidden myself and was holding my breath. The person tailing me, was it Rena? Just like yesterday? If it was Rena, I wouldn't hold back. Wow, he really hates Rena. I guess cicadas in Japan will give me nightmares when me and my friends will decide to stay in Japan for a week. Oh, wow! Have fun in Japan if you go, and don't worry about the cicadas. They're just a regular sound of the summer. Yes. I could just yell at her and make her go ahead like yesterday. If it wasn't Rena, it would depend on how they acted, I guess. Does he have the bat with him? The footsteps ambled closer. I swallowed, wiped my clammy hands on my pants, and readjusted the grip on the bat. I could tell that the fear that I had beaten back once was now waiting for another opening to come at me. Who could it be? I peeked out from behind the tree at the person following me. My imagination hadn't led me astray. It was Rena. She looked so happy, even after her hands got destroyed. Her fingers. There was a bit of relief as I realized it was someone I knew, but that feeling left me in an instant. This wasn't the same Rena that he knew. Ah! Her eyes were dark and lifeless, but her mouth appeared as if it was carved into a crescent. Yes, it looked like she was grinning slightly. And in her right hand was an axe. Ah! Run for it! Run! 逃げろ! 逃げろ! Goodbye! I hid myself behind the tree once again and recalled that unbelievable sight I just saw. What was that just now? The embodiment of terror laid bare. Baseball, practicing my swing. There were tons of excuses for me to be carrying a bat. But for that axe? There was no excuse for that. ちょっと待って. Guys, let's pause here for a second. Let's pause here for a second. I remember at the beginning of this game, when Rena was carrying around an axe at some point to help Keiichi dig out Colonel Sanders, he said that Rena carrying an axe was perfectly normal, and he was unfazed by it. He was even making jokes about it. And now he decides to freak out over it? Something's not right. Something's not right. Right? I clearly remember it being specifically stated that Rena carrying around an axe was as normal as, like, anything. 'Cause she's a weirdo. Thunk.
Let's keep going. Keiichi is dumb. An axe. Just like that? Keiichi-kun, are you playing hide and seek? I wonder? Okay, that's scary. これはちょっと怖い. This one's a little scary. My heart was pounding, hard enough that I had trouble breathing. What little composure I had been able to hold on to was now crushed. In its place, cold sweat gushed forth, covering my entire body, letting me know precisely what kind of emotion had taken hold. Did we ever figure out what happened to Colonel Sanders, by the way? Nope. He just kind of disappeared. I think Rena took him home, omochikaeri, and that was it. Not good, not good, not good. I wasn't able to hide myself completely. She already knew I was here. Were you trying to scare me? I wonder? I decided that it would be better to reveal myself now, since there was still space between us, than to allow Rena to come any closer. I adjusted my grip on the bat again, readied myself mentally, and stepped out from behind the tree. I found you, Keiichi-kun. Mitsuketa. Rena was pleased that she found me, eliciting a mysterious giggle. Her mouth was smiling, but her eyes told me she was displeased by the fact that I had been hiding. Those eyes, they were just so empty. My legs began to quiver. Ugh, not good. In the pit of my stomach, some sort of vicious hot and cold substance began spreading around. If I allowed it, that substance would slip into my bloodstream and undoubtedly freeze all the organs of my body. Not good, not good. I'll be devoured by Rena at this rate. Strike back! Don't lose! What is it? I blustered, hiding behind my bravado. But Rena didn't flinch one bit. Just the same as Keiichi-kun. I'm heading home. Then what about that axe? Then what about that bat you're holding? She got us. We have no excuses left. I'm practicing my swing. Then I'm treasure hunting. Rena gave a flippant explanation as to why she had such a fearsome weapon. Yeah, she uses it for digging up, like, treasure, or whatever. Alright. Treasure hunting? Yeah, Keiichi, do you not remember? At the treasure mountain near the dam site, I found a new cute thing, so I needed this to dig it out. How could I believe that? You wouldn't believe it, would you? Rena's laugh was obviously very strange. Treasure hunting for your head. Guys, don't worry about it. It worked last time. She used an axe last time. Alright. I'd seen Rena's transformation many times before, but the one today was completely different. Like a mischievous tone and a shrewd glint in her eyes. Minecraft players. Yes. It wasn't something that roundabout. I'm not sure. My cat's sticking his hand under the door. I was like, what is that? I just saw a hand under the door. It was my cat's paw. びっくりした. Alright. I'm not sure what to say. It was just so obvious. Wait, Keiichi-kun. I can't laugh. Sorry. Rena didn't stop walking even as she let out that eerie laugh. Whenever Rena got too close to me, I would scurry away and turn back towards her. This cycle repeated over and over. No matter how you looked at it, I was being chased by Rena and I was trying to escape. Don't follow me! I can't do that. My house is this way after all. When I met with Rena on this road yesterday, she cowered and trembled as she followed my commands. But today was different. Rena didn't show a hint of trepidation. Actually, wasn't I the one who was cowering? If the way home for Rena and me was the same, that's fine. I just changed my route. Yeah, mine does the same thing, scares the bejesus out of me. Nice. Cat wants attention. That'd work out, wouldn't it? I turned onto a side street I'd never been down and knew little about. But Rena saw me do that and followed me while laughing. Why? Why? Aren't you going home? Then just go home down the street you normally do. Why would you follow me down this weird little side road? Those thoughts screamed in my head, eventually spilling out of my mouth. Dead end equals bad end. Yep. Well, why are you following me? The tone of my voice was already tinged with terror. Because I want to talk to Keiichi-kun. Keiichi-kun wants to talk to Rena too, doesn't he? Doesn't he? I don't want to talk about anything with you. That's a lie, isn't it? There's something you want to ask me about, isn't there? Not at all. I have nothing to talk to you about. That's a lie, isn't it? It's not a lie. Lies! Uso-da! This is the third uso that we got from Rena. 3回目だよ、これで、嘘だわ。やばいでしょ、もう。Super やばい, guys. Cat, can I be in the stream too? Rena's scream echoed, startling some nearby birds into flight. I cringed in fear. The only other thing I could do was increase my pace. Let's talk, Keiichi-kun. Talk. Why was I running down this unfamiliar and deserted street? Doesn't Keiichi-kun have something he's worried about? No, nothing at all. I'm not worried about anything. Lies! Even though I was running, even though Rena was walking, why wasn't I getting any further away? I know. I really do know. You're scared, aren't you, Keiichi-kun? I'm not scared. I'm not scared of anything. Lies! Uso-da! Yabai yo. My breathing grew heavy and it felt like my legs were giving out beneath me. Rena wasn't even breaking a sweat. I'll listen. This time I'll listen. I had no idea what she was talking about or what exactly she wanted to do. This time I'll listen. It will be different from the time with Satoshi-kun. Oh wait, sorry, this was Rena. I'll listen. This time I'll listen. It will be different from the time with Satoshi-kun. When she said Satoshi's name, I turned back for a moment. She's teleporting. But even as I did that, Rena was still advancing. I couldn't afford to stop. Satoshi-kun was worried too. It looked like he was having such a hard time. But I didn't listen. I was so sad. Where did this street connect to? All these twists and turns, ups and downs. It was hard to believe that this was even remotely in the direction towards my house. My sense of direction had long since gone out the window. Hold it together, Keiichi. I really regretted it when Satoshi-kun transferred out. I thought that if I had listened, he may have not transferred out. I really regretted that. The road led me deeper into the forest. Wasn't I getting further away from the village the more I ran? I lost more and more of my composure the more I thought about it. But despite this realization, my inner self was still disturbingly calm. So you see, I vowed that if there was someone struggling like Satoshi-kun did, I'd save them. I don't want anyone to transfer out again. Damn it! What does transfer even mean? I won't let you transfer me. I won't end up the same as Satoshi. It means getting isekai'd. Don't you want to go to an isekai, Keiichi-kun? Come on, Keiichi-kun. Talk to me. I'll be able to understand you, Keiichi-kun. I'm your ally.
I started wheezing out of breath. My lungs were so hot that they felt like they were going to explode and my heart was beating as hard as it possibly could. How is Rena faster than this guy? He must be really out of shape. He was not prepared at all. I should practice running instead of my swing. I couldn't even afford to scoff at that stupid thought.
If Keiichi-kun doesn't have anything to worry about, he'll go back to normal. Everyone will be back to being friends, and we can enjoy club activities again. Next time we'll team up and beat Mi-chan.
Yeah, apologize for breaking your fingers. Yeah, how much fun that would be. Rena couldn't even imagine how much I'd wished I could turn back the clock on these past few days.
You could be nice to me again, too. I want to go searching for treasure again. This time I'll prepare a nice lunch. Actually, we could just go right now. Let's go up to the dam site together. I'll show you the cute thing I just found. I'm sure you'll like it, too.
Keiichi Ring Fit. Yeah, Keiichi, you need to buy Ring Fit. This is 1983, though. Or something. My footsteps made pathetic flapping sounds as my legs wobbled and faltered. Hot on my heels, Rena's steps were sharply breaking twigs underfoot. I had to accept it. I was on the run, being chased by Rena. If she caught me, it was all over. I realized it instinctively. I couldn't even begin to think of what the end would entail. Just that if I was caught, it was all over. That's all I knew. It didn't matter how it was going to end. I wouldn't let it end. Not without knowing anything. Not yet! That momentary lapse was all it took. Of all the things that could have happened. My knees buckled underneath me and I crumbled towards the ground. Keiichi, you're useless! I tried to stand frantically, urging my legs to respond. I used my bed as a makeshift cane to prop myself up, but Rena was already standing right in front of me. Compared to me, out of breath and utterly exhausted, Rena was so cool and composed that she could have frozen the air around her. She wasn't breathing hard at all. Rather, I couldn't even sense if her heart was beating. What's happening?
Are you afraid of something, I wonder? It's not like you to tremble, Keiichi-kun.
Her expression looked almost affectionate. Those soulless eyes. That mask of affection. As she admonished me for trembling, Rena's hands deftly slipped over her head. The blur of her arms, as they moved, made me feel as if I was staring at the godliness of the 1,000-armed Buddha. What is she doing? Then as both of her hands met above her head, the axe that she held came into focus. Oh no! Keiichi, why? It's over. Oh, Arida! I stared up at it in disbelief. It was all I could do. Tell me. What happened to Satoshi? When I stayed like that, with that axe raised above her head, and solemnly opened her mouth. It was as she was expressing a farewell to a friend she was never to see again. The cruel scenario resided somewhere in her actions. Yusuke-san, hello, welcome! Rando-san, hello, welcome! Arigato, 来てくれて. Thank you both for coming, and yes, we are at the scary part. Our MC is, being confronted by his, classmate? Friend? And she's holding an axe above her head. Things are not looking too good. Things are not looking too good here. No problem. Don't be sorry. I'm just glad you're here. Arigato. Alright, guys.
I told you. Satoshi-kun. transferred out. Enough of that transfer crap. It means demon away, doesn't it? Doesn't it? You can tell me now, can't you? Who made Satoshi disappear? Was it you? Mion? Or someone in the village? Answer me! I became frantic the more I screamed, but Rena did nothing but maintain the smile frozen on her face. I have no idea what Keiichi-kun is talking about. Then I'll say it in a way so you do. Who is the perpetrator of this chain of mysterious deaths? You seem to be confused, Keiichi-kun. The screen's getting redder. 画面がもっと赤くなってきたんだけど。What? There is no human perpetrator. Everything is by Oyashiro-sama's will. Isn't Oyashiro-sama's curse just a superstition? You believe in that too? It's not about believing or not. Oyashiro-sama exists. Period. Rena's gaze grew even more, is that Jallid or Gallid? I don't know. The ferocity of her stare was so intense, not allowing me to question anything. There's just no way that something like Oyashiro-sama could exist. You don't believe? Shinjinai no? In Oyashiro-sama? There's no way I could believe it. There's no way it could exist. It exists. Oyashiro-sama exists. Keiichi-kun should have felt it personally. I never felt something like that. Keiichi-kun, haven't you felt someone apologizing to you before? Constantly on top of that. All noise from the outside world disappeared. Only Rena's voice resounded loudly and terribly. You see, until you forgive them, they'll always be with you. At school, at home, at your bedside. I couldn't understand what Rena was saying. Apparently the word Jallid. Oh, it's pronounced as Jallid? Alright. Why isn't it spelled with a J? Come on, English. Thank you so much for looking that up for me. Alright, Jallid. I couldn't understand what Rena was saying. It came to me too. It came to me too. Oyashiro-sama did. That's why I transferred and came back to Hinamizawa. I don't understand. What does transfer even mean? What was Rena saying? Hasn't Oyashiro-sama come to you as well, Keiichi-kun? I'm probably the only one who you can confide in. I won't let you transfer out, okay? Rena's demented laughter clanged around inside my head. Was Rena saying Oyashiro-sama came to her as well? That's right. Last night I had heard about that when I asked about Rena. Yeah, I remember. I'm aware.
Please keep this confidential. Also, part of this may be speculation. Not all of it may be true. Are you still interested?
Oishi-san began speaking.
Neither the victims nor the school filed a complaint, so there's no preliminary report. Basically, the police hadn't intervened in this matter. So all of these details are just what I heard from those involved. Meaning it's not that credible.
You said there were more victims? Didn't Rena just break all the windows?
No. Rena Ryugu had attacked 3 boys using a metal bat. Oh my gosh. 2 of them made it out with only bruises. But the other had been injured so badly that one of his eyes was permanently damaged. What? Wouldn't that be considered assault? Shouldn't the police have arrested her? For whatever reason, the victim never pressed charges. There was no report to the police, so... They were beaten with a bat and suffered significant injuries. Normally, there would be a criminal investigation. But why didn't they press charges? I tried asking the 3 male victims for the side of the story, but they were all reluctant. It's hard to say, but they were all afraid. Even after she had transferred schools.
Pokukeki-san, welcome! ありがとう来てくれて Thank you so much for coming!
Oishi-san, could you summarize it starting from the beginning? Rena hit people while she broke the windows? Or was it... She started breaking the windows after she got bored of hitting people. They sounded similar, but the meanings were drastically different. On an undisclosed date, Rena Ryugu was conversing with 3 male students, close friends of hers, near the pool storage shed. Who were those 3? I can't reveal their names. But they were close to Rena Ryugu, and it seems they were a group of friends. She was a lone girl in the group. So it wasn't that strange that the 4 of them were together. So what happened? I don't know the reason why. She took the baseball team's bat that was in the pool storage shed and beat the 3 of them down one after the other.
This sounds really sus.
Okay. What? There were no witnesses. This was an account pieced together by the information given at the time of the incident. One day after school, Rena and 3 male students were at the pool storage shed talking together. They weren't seeking help, rather they usually met up there. It appears it became a heated discussion. At that time, Rena underwent a change. The change was so abrupt that the 3 of them didn't comprehend what was happening.
What if they were trying to attack her? Why am I the only one that thinks that they were up to some no shit? Like no stuff, and Rena was just trying to protect herself. Cause I mean, it's a pool storage shed. That sounds like, you know, where no one's watching. That sounds kind of like shady. I don't know. Then, taking the metal bat, she attacked her friends one after the other. Yeah, 3 dudes kind of sus, honestly. They don't want to talk about it either. If they got attacked, wouldn't they actually talk about it? But maybe because they were doing something bad enough to deserve to get attacked by her, maybe that's why they didn't talk about it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Leaving her friends covered in blood with gashes on their heads, she made her way towards the school building. Then she broke the glass windows one after the other. A few minutes later, a teacher appeared on scene and subdued her. I really think that they were trying to do something to her, and she protected herself. That's just my guess. Let's see. What was this change Rena underwent? What matches up in the statements from the 3 was a sudden change. The point that there was a transformation. Transformation. I also could recall Rena's transformation. I'd seen that change many times before. It was so different from the usual Rena that I couldn't help but believe it was someone else who looked like Rena. That transformation they're talking about, had it happened before? No, there was nothing like that. As far as I could find out, in her medical history and past, there was nothing like that. Does that happen often? Where people change suddenly like Rena did? Of course it does. There are plenty of psychological phenomena that could cause something like that. Like a panic response, I feel like. Then you're saying that there was a dormant element in Rena that caused that transformation. Super Saiyan Rena. I cannot say that for certain. But according to the statements of her friends, it's hard to believe she had such a side to her. Kind, caring, and adorable. Even before she transferred here, she was probably pretty popular in school like she was now. That girl transforming suddenly assaulting them with a bat. Who could imagine such a thing? Nobody could have seen it coming. I myself sometimes believe that I was mistaken for thinking that was Rena even now. Then, what happened after that?
There was a hospital right across from the school, so the three of them were carried in and treated quickly.
What about Rena? What about the police? Wasn't there a criminal investigation?
You see, the police can't get involved unless they're called.
Alright guys, I have two theories. Number one, Rena's response was a panic response and she was defending herself. I feel like that would make the most sense here. Number two, she got possessed by Oyashiro-sama and went berserk for no reason. But then that wouldn't add up with how the guys didn't report her. You know what I mean? Something off with that one. Even though one was badly injured with permanent damage, why didn't they file charges?
That's what caught my attention as well. Either some threat or pressure was placed on them, or they had a reason they couldn't file charges even if they wanted to.
We're talking about you after all. Of course you looked into it, didn't you? I like the theory of Super Saiyan Rena.
Well, yeah. But I told you at the beginning, didn't I? That the victims were all very reluctant to talk. They didn't want to touch on the matter, or rather, they didn't want to be involved.
They're scared of Oyashiro-sama, maybe? Reluctant to talk. Didn't want to touch it. Didn't want to be involved. It resembled the villagers here in Oyashiro-sama's curse. Did the teacher at the school tell you anything? The school is a hallowed ground. You could say they tend to keep hallowed ground? You could say they tend to keep scandals under wraps. I didn't have a search warrant, so I had to tread lightly, you see. Then, there was no comment from the school? Neri drink some tea, which I know you must. No. They denied the incident even happened. What? It's just
3 male students were carried in for blunt force trauma that day. That's all there was in the hospital records. The victims didn't speak. The school denied it happened.
Oh, the victims didn't speak. The school denied it happened. Then you don't know anything at all.
Yeah, I know nothing other than the incident itself had taken place. The victims also wished this incident to be kept from the public, so if you and I both forget about it, Maebara-san, then this incident will probably just fade away. For a brief period, we sat in silence. At first glance, it looked like a simple assault case, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. The depths were obscured by rolling waves, sinking quietly into the void, as it never existed to begin with. After that, she was suspended by the school, and during that time, she underwent psychiatric counseling.
Did you hear anything from the doctor?
Again, they were very professional in regards to their ethics, or at least very tight-lipped.
Nothing even after you showed them your badge?
I was told to get a warrant. The badge itself has no legally binding authority after all.
Then how did you know that Rena confessed that it was Oyashiro-sama who did it?
There was a nurse I asked in that department. She agreed to help me just from showing her my badge.
Then, what did she say?
Turns out that the nurse hadn't heard everything. Apparently all that she remembered was what she overheard from inside the room. The nurse said that at the time, Rena Ryugu was very calm and mild-mannered. It was more like she was confessing her sins at church than a counseling session. She spoke with her mother there for some of it, but partway through her mother was asked to leave, so it became a private counseling session between just the doctor and Rena for a while.
The part with Oyashiro-sama, when did that pop up?
Partway through. She screamed the name suddenly. That startled the nurse, and that's why she started listening in.
It was Oyashiro-sama! Rena suddenly shouted that. I had no idea what was said before that, so I had no idea what the meaning behind it could have been. The doctor calmly and collectedly asked Rena to have a seat.
What is this Oyashiro-sama you speak of?
Gently, ever so gently. The fundamentals of counseling were believing what you were told. Whoever abandons Hinamizawa will be hunted down by Oyashiro-sama. And they finally got into me.
That's a town you lived in before you moved here, isn't that right, Ryugu-san?
I knew what she lived in. Actually, I may have never said this, but I had a hunch that Rena actually lived in Hinamizawa before.
Yeah, and she moved out for a bit. Interesting.
I didn't want to move, but because of my mom and dad's circumstances, we had to. But Oyashiro-sama wouldn't allow it.
Ryugu-san must have lots of friends in Hinamizawa. Even now you must be missing them dearly, don't you think?
I want to go back to Hinamizawa. No, it's not that I want to go back. I have to go back. I should have gone back much sooner. But now it's too late. Oyashiro-sama has come.
Oyashiro-sama is the name of the god in Hinamizawa, isn't that right?
Everyone knows it's Hinamizawa's guardian deity. And if you ever try abandoning Hinamizawa by leaving, you will incur his wrath.
You had moved quite a while ago, didn't you?
Then it was just now that this god has arrived. Is that what you're saying? You might not believe me, but Oyashiro-sama exists.
That nurse was then asked by another nurse to do something and left the room. That was all she remembered.
How does she remember so much in detail?
That it was Oyashiro-sama's doing, right? I do believe there is that kind of superstition in Hinamizawa. That if you leave the village, then you incur Oyashiro-sama's wrath. You should be familiar with this part, Maebara-san. I knew very well what those scorned by the village incurred. To hinder the dam construction project, they cursed the construction foreman to his death. Then the following year, Satogo's parents, supporters, and leading advocates for the dam were cursed to their death. But this was the first time I've heard of the curse incurred by leaving a village.
The village is cursed?
This is my first time hearing that. I can understand outside threats being cursed by the village, but why also villagers who leave? Normally, people who leave villages aren't supposed to be cursed, right? Oh, who leave villages aren't supposed to be cursed, right? I mean, yeah, normally. This village isn't normal, though. I know it's a bit strange to say it, but I could see it as a rule that the people who come in are the ones who would be cursed. Far from Jupiter, far from his thunder. Curses weren't something to chase after people that leave, were they? Oshi-san pondered for a bit over on the other end of the receiver, then began speaking again.
If you get cursed for leaving the village, that would explain Tomitake-san. But Tomitake-san wasn't a villager in the first place, right?
Interesting. Well, I told you of long ago when Hinamizawa was called Onikakushi, didn't I? I recalled hearing that. Long ago, Hinamizawa was feared and respected as the village of ogres. The villagers at the foot of the mountains worshipped the ogres, so Onikakushi was hallowed ground that you could never enter. Is it haloed? It came to be said that if you entered carelessly, you were cursed by Oyashiro-sama. Those who set foot in Onikakushi, in other words, Hinamizawa, would be cursed. I could understand that. I know that, but for leaving to also be no good, that's also the ogres, you see. They were being strictly watched by Oyashiro-sama so they would not enter into our world. In other words, Oyashiro-sama probably restricted interaction between Onikakushi and the rest of the world. I see. Finally understood what sort of thing Oyashiro-sama was. So basically, Oyashiro-sama is more like a warden than a protectorate deity, I guess? Trying to keep this place isolated from the rest of the world. I guess that's how it would seem. I'm sorry, I don't know very much myself. This is mostly what was passed on to me from my grandmother. I could understand it a bit better if it was like that. Those who came to Hinamizawa would be cursed, and those who tried to leave would also be cursed. So because Rena originally lived in Hinamizawa and moved away, she fulfilled the requirements for being cursed. So that means, because Rena moved away against its wishes, she was cursed by Oyashiro-sama. Is that what it adds up to? In short, that seems to be what it points to, I guess. As a matter of fact, soon afterwards, they did move back to Hinamizawa after all. Those who abandoned Hinamizawa and left were cursed. But then, why only Rena? Shouldn't Rena's parents also have been guilty of the same transgression by moving away and have been cursed? Also, in this day and age in Japan, shouldn't there be a lot more people coming and going? If every single one of them was cursed, then it'd be insane.
But in reality, it wasn't that big of a deal at all. At most, there would be one person dying and one disappearing on the day of the Watanagashi. I don't like saying at most, though. Well, anyways, there's a lot I still don't know. Even if it was Oyashiro-sama's curse, it doesn't add up as to why her classmates, the victims who were beaten with a metal bat, wouldn't press charges. You don't think the victims were cowering because they believed that that terrible curse had befallen them, do you? Of course I didn't want to believe it. But more importantly, I had just realized something else. There was another bizarre connection that Rena made between Oyashiro-sama's curse and metal bats. Satoshi fell victim to Oyashiro-sama's curse and went missing. Oh, cool. Exposition before death. Very long exposition. When are you gonna cut back to Rena about to swing that axe at him? Yep. We've been in a long expedition right now, or monologue, or Keiichi's memories. Satoshi fell victim to Oyashiro-sama's curse and went missing. I had recently learned that Satoshi had also become infatuated with the metal bat right before he disappeared, just like me. You're right. Everyone tends to pick up a metal bat, don't they? Then Rena as well. She was affected by Oyashiro-sama's curse. She confessed that much to the doctor. And the weapon which she had used at the time of the horrendous act was again a metal bat. And finally, me. I'd encountered various things that were inexplicable, and now I was holding onto a metal bat. I was shocked when I learned that Satoshi did the same thing. It couldn't be. Had the same thing happened to Rena? But there was one critical difference between her and Satoshi's case. That being, Satoshi went missing after falling victim to the curse, but Rena was still here. Both of them had fallen victim to Oyashiro-sama's curse, yet they were met with different endings. And finally, me. I couldn't call it a coincidence anymore. Rena. Satoshi. And finally, me. Could it be that I really was under Oyashiro-sama's curse right now? No, more importantly than that. What should I do now? Satoshi had been demon away, vanishing without a trace. Rena was fine. Fine? Rena had undergone a change. I could only believe that there was something that wasn't Rena residing within her. And here, right now, it was standing before me. And we're back. Rena, please tell me. What happened to me? Kirishi-san, welcome! Thank you so much for coming. Arigato! I'm playing Higurashi and Keiichi's in danger. Rena stood imposingly, not answering. Satoshi disappeared. But Rena didn't disappear. Oh wait, Satoshi disappeared, but Rena didn't disappear. So what will happen to me? I had never heard such an unpleasant laugh before. It had become akin to the sound of her breathing. It was no longer a voice or an expression or feeling. Don't worry. I'll save you. Rena took one step forward, still holding the axe high above her head. Now then. One step closer, Rena's face spread out to fill my vision. Speak. One step closer. Rena's nose was close enough to touch mine, and was still pushing closer. That's really close. There's something you want to say, isn't there? I'll listen. I'll save you, okay? Speak, okay? I slumped down, landing squarely on my butt. It wasn't for some pathetic reason. It was all I could do to get as far away from Rena. Oh my god, that's a long laugh. I can't laugh. I can't fake I had the gut feeling that I couldn't let her laughter end. Because when the laughing ended, the moment I picked up on the feeling, my body moved by instinct. I sprang to my feet so fast, even I couldn't believe it, and I pushed Rena away with both hands. Rena was as light as a feather. Thrown about by the unbalanced weight of the axe, she was sent backwards as if she had been carried off by the wind. After confirming that out of the corner of my eye, I dashed off at full speed. I was a perfect picture of fleeing like a greased pig. Get away from Rena. Run away. Survive! I couldn't think of anything other than this. While I was running, I remembered I'd been holding onto a bat the entire time. Yes, Keiichi, you could have, swung the bat or something, like you said you would. Such a worthless weapon. I couldn't believe I'd forgotten about this weapon at such an important time. What? How did he forget about the bat? I sped even further down the winding path. I didn't even feel myself gasping for breath or my legs getting heavy. My body understood it as well. If I didn't run away from here, I wouldn't live. I could hear the laughter of that simulacrum? Words? Of Rena coming from behind me. Yeah, maybe Rena just wanted an apology. Because, he did, hurt her. It rang through the trees and in my head, and slowly chiseled away at my sanity. The grove of the trees thinned out, my field of vision suddenly expanding. Where was this? For a moment, I was bewildered by the scenery I felt I knew but couldn't quite remember. Where are you? I quickly realized. It was a damn sight. The fact that I dashed madly and ended up in a place like this gave me a bad feeling, like I was following someone's scripted plot. I had a good view of my surroundings, but I didn't see a single soul here. This was a terrible spot for someone on the run. But there was no better place for an attacker. My heart was already on the verge of bursting. The muscles in my legs were screaming, but I didn't care. If I stopped here, then they might not even be able to scream for much longer. Even so, I glanced back, looking for an excuse to rest. Rena wasn't there. Instead, I saw two villagers walking around. I breathed a sigh of relief that it wasn't Rena, but a third party, except a voice inside me rang the alarm once again. Villagers walking around were suspicious in and of themselves, but it bothered me. They both wore rough-looking clothes. Empty-handed, they definitely gave the impression that they were just out for a walk. But at this time of day, two adults wandering around without a purpose, it was enough to raise questions. Is it that big of a deal? But more than anything else, those eyes. They weren't chit-chatting while walking. They were both silent, heading forward, looking in my direction. Oh no! Keiichi, just go home! Oh my gosh! Everyone's out to get you or something, I don't know. Was I at the end of my rope and had finally started imagining things? I should run away. That was probably the best choice. If they weren't involved, I'd lose them easily by running. If they were part of the group after me, then they would come running after me. Either way, unless I hurried up, Rena would catch up with me. That's right, I was going to run! Deciding that, the moment I began to turn tail, both of them rushed towards me as if they knew exactly what I was thinking. Somewhere inside me, I jumped to the conclusion that Rena was the only thing I needed to be afraid of. I made the assumption that I didn't need to fear anything else. But right now, I realize just how blatantly wrong I was. What's happening? I feel like, why would the village go out of their way to get Keiichi? What are you... I'm sure they have better things to do. I'm not sure what's happening. Suddenly, the story Oishi-san told me about the demons all leaving the village to hunt prey floated through the back of my mind. I could tell they were both coming after me without even turning around because of their frenetic footsteps. It was frightening being unable to shake Rena off as she slowly closed in on me, but this didn't even compare. Being pursued with such violent ferocity, this straightforward horror was unparalleled. Dude, just run. Maybe Keiichi lives in Matrix. Honestly, maybe. One of the pursuers' arms grazed my shoulder. Now it wasn't just their frenzied footsteps, but also the distinct sound of their breathing that I could hear. No, I could practically feel them breathing on me. They were already right behind me. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. Did I miss something? No, I didn't. Okay. Still running at full tilt, I felt the surrounding area go still. No, it felt like time itself had stopped. I turned my head back slightly in that frozen world, realizing how close my pursuers had gotten to me. I couldn't win against the legs of an adult. In less than the time it would take to blink twice, when this frozen time began moving again, they'd be right on top of me. On top of me. And then? Don't think about that, Keiichi. First, realize that you won't be able to shake them off like this. And the fact that you can't get away was a given. If the fact that you can't get away was a given, then you need to make a decision. Go with the right leg, or go with the left. You just need to decide which one. Let's go with the left. The moment I decided that, the temporal singularity burst into pieces. Right. Left. I swung the bat in a wide arc with my right arm. Using that inertia, I stopped and suddenly spun. What? The two of them were clearly startled. Momentarily losing sight of me, both of their outstretched arms ready to grab me, instead grasped at an empty space. The man on the right, I applauded him being able to figure it out, spun around to the spot I shouldn't have been, and faced me in astonishment. But it was too late. I didn't even need to swing my bat. All I needed to do was extend my arms as I turned around. It was by no means a heavy blow, but it seemed like it had enough power behind it to knock him off his feet. But just knocking him down wasn't enough to scare him away. He got back up in no time. Both of them took a fighting stance and were ready to face me. What's happening? This made me certain they weren't just two people out for a walk. They were clearly after me. It felt much easier than dealing with Rena. Just by not recognizing their faces, by not knowing them, it made things easier. I smiled wryly on the inside. What do you want with me? Next one is going to be right in your face, you bastard. It's fine if it was just a bluff. Rao-san! Welcome! ありがとう来てくれて. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I'm playing Higurashi. Keiichi's fighting villagers. He thinks they're out to kill him, so he's attacking them or defending himself. I'm not sure what's happening, honestly. By barking out at them, I was able to fire myself up. They didn't respond. They spread out to either side of me with unbelievably calm expressions on their faces. One of them would grab onto my bat, and the other would hold me down. Was that their plan? Taking on both of them at once would be impossible. Hot sweat poured from every pore in my body. Then I'd just have to settle it with the first move. I'd step in and strike the first one down. Narrowing my target down to the man on the right, who had already been knocked down before, I stepped in and swung with all my might. There was no way for an unarmed person to guard against it. It would cause immense damage. If they blocked it with their arm, their bone would snap like a twig. If they turned their back to it, then it was possible that the blow would travel all the way to their vital organs. It looked like he was aware of this. He pushed farther down the kill zone between us and delivered a fist right into my gut. Not good. With this distance in this position and in this state, there's no way for me to dodge it. What? The world flipped upside down. I understood that I was being tossed around like a rag doll. I landed on the soft earth without a sound, feeling the grainy soil press against my face. It didn't hurt at all. But the moment I thought that, I suddenly felt pain coming from the abrasions on my skin as well as the contents of my stomach being forced upwards, flooding my mouth with a bitter sensation. I knew very well I didn't have the time to relish this experience. I stood up as quickly as I could, but at that moment the other man was ready, barreling towards me. Wow, last time I was here we were crushing fingers, now we're in a brawl. Indeed. Yep. Man, Keiichi just keeps getting himself into a mess. Being able to comprehend calmly that I simply couldn't dodge it made it all the more upsetting. After plowing into my stomach full force once again, my silent twisted around behind me and locked a thick arm around my neck. My throat felt like it was being crushed by his immense strength. I couldn't even contemplate that I was being strangled or that I was about to go unconscious. My vision simply darkened and a silent whining noise began playing deep inside my mind. It took everything I had to keep myself from blacking out. While this was happening, the other man was more than likely standing in front of me. I wasn't able to open my eyes, but I could feel that he was there. There was nothing I could do now. Unable to shake this arm off of me, I couldn't run. I couldn't fight back. Dire straits. I couldn't even come up with a phrase that adequately described my situation. Rao-san, whoa. Okay. Did he black out? Did he black out? Keiichi, hello? You there? Huh. This is his house. Was it all just a dream? Alright guys, I'm going to go take a bathroom break and get some more tea and feed my cats real quick. So I'll be right back, okay? ちょっと待っててね。 はい、ちょっとね、お茶取ってきて、おトイレ行ってきて、お茶入れてきてか。そして、猫ちゃんにご飯あげてくるので、ちょっと待っててね。はい。じゃあ、ちょっと待っててね。I'll be right back, okay? BRB, you can listen to this nice music. Tadaima, I'm back. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Your cat brought your present? Wow! Mouse. Your cat loves you. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so funny when they do that, because it's like I don't need this, but thanks, sort of thing. You know, it's your cat's showing its loyalty for you. That's really nice. Poor mouse. Live birds. Oh my gosh. Wow. Tadaima. Thank you guys. Thank you for waiting. Alright guys. He's a stray cat that decided to stick around. Been around for 4 years or so. Oh, that's so cute. Kawaii. That's so sweet. Aww. I love cats. 私は猫大好きなので. Yeah. And I just fed my cats too. My cats are very chonky. Yep. Alright. Let's get into it. Before my PC dies. Let's go. I want to finish this. I don't know if I will though. I hope I can. You know? A familiar ceiling. The smell of the bed and the pillows. I knew them well. Dagu-san, tadaima. Was this my room? Normally, there wouldn't be anyone in my room besides me, but their presence made me spring wide awake. When I did that, pain shot throughout my entire body. Oh my gosh. Feeling alright? I think you'd better just lie down for a bit. Why was Rena in my room? Blood began to surge through my muscles and my capillaries. But Rena's smile belonged to the Rena I knew well. I knew I shouldn't let myself feel this way. But I relaxed thinking that this version of Rena was safe. What am I? Don't you remember? After losing consciousness, nothing at all. My body had become more lethargic than I could ever have imagined. I guess that would be the expected outcome after exerting everything I had back there. I tried to at least clear my head, but I just couldn't shake the sluggish feeling out of my mind. I called the doctor. He should be here soon. I think you'd better just lie down until then. I wasn't injured seriously enough to merit calling a doctor. But knowing that someone impartial was coming was slightly reassuring. Hello, thank you for coming to the stream. Arigato. Why am I here? I'm sure I was at the dam site. That's what I want to know. What happened? When I got there, Keiichi-kun was already passed out. Huh? That's why I'm the one who wants to know. I was attacked. Oh, wait, that's why I'm the one who wants to know. I was attacked by 2 weirdos. As I talked about it, I finally remembered what happened right before I passed out. Recalling that memory and the terror that went along with it caused the fogginess around my head to clear right up. Let's forget about those 2 for now. I didn't expect Rena to be nursing me. I thought Rena was trying to kill me. She would have had the perfect chance while I was unconscious. No, not only did she not kill me, she had nursed me back to health. Best waifu? Rena best waifu? Amazing you could drag me all the way back here. Wasn't I heavy? Yes, yandere. She's been displaying traits of that so far, hasn't she? Looking at Rena's delicate frame, it was hard to believe that she had not only gotten me back home, but even dragged me all the way up to the 2nd floor. Did she have some help? Don't you remember, Keiichi-kun? Rena appeared a bit surprised, but still kept her smile. I only propped you up on my shoulder. You said you could walk on your own and that you were fine. You don't remember? I didn't remember. My memory was fuzzy after the point where I lost consciousness. What about those 2? Huh? When you got there, Rena, the ones with me, or rather those 2 guys. There wasn't anyone, she said it bluntly.
Is she lying or is she like for real?
The way she stated it felt slightly unpleasant. I was too timid at the time. I might have been able to force some answers out of Rena. But if I did that, then this kind of Rena might transform into a scary Rena who I didn't know, fearing that I didn't press any further. Thinking about it, it was the obvious choice. If both of those men were there, I don't think Rena would even have stood a chance. I couldn't find a way to explain it unless I assumed she brought me here after those two already were gone. She doesn't have a very good track record for telling the truth. You're right, Daga-san, yeah. She kind of avoids a lot of questions. Interesting. She's pretending nothing happened, right? Guys, maybe that's the case. Absolutely nothing happened. Rena was still smiling. Her eyes sparkled warmly. Yet, I felt like I was hallucinating when I saw something. Something akin to a shadow slowly creeping across her face. That small omen sent shivers down my spine. While Rena was still Rena, I needed to make contact. I needed to contact Oishi-san. Rena stopped me when I tried to get out of bed. 何の音? 知らない。She said it would aggravate my wounds, so I should sleep. I'd like to go to the bathroom, though. Sorry. Rena couldn't say anything else. Alright, time for Kate to mess up again. You guys ready? While Rena stayed in the room, I quickly went downstairs to get the phone receiver in the living room. When I approached the front door, the doorbell rang. Ding dong. Who is it? 今度は誰? Who's it now? It must have been the doctor Rena had called. Oh, okay. Yeah. そうか、医者か。忘れてた. It was strange for a patient to welcome in the doctor who was making a house call. But it would be incredibly reassuring to have him here for the considerable time it would take Oishi-san to get here. I carelessly opened the door with a simple assumption and regretted it almost instantly. Mion-chan! I don't know why I'm happy. I mean, I do like Mion. Mion-chan 好きなので、はい。Mion? Oh, you look just fine. I heard you clap, so I came to check up on you. How did you know I collapsed? I heard from Rena over the phone. Do I need any reason other than that? I understood why she would call a doctor. But why Mion too? Rena was descending the stairs behind me. Rena, doesn't Kei-chan look pretty alright? She made me worry for nothing. That's true. Maybe I worried for nothing as well. They both began laughing. It appeared to be cheerful laughter, but I couldn't shake the feeling that there was darkness looming over them. Whoa, what's up with the shoe rack? How did it get like this? The shoe rack that I'd smashed to pieces had been like that since yesterday. I fell, you see, and the bat I was holding at the time slammed into it. This is what happens when you swing around something you're not used to handling. I kept the fact that it was none of her business to myself. But leaving it like this will really startle your parents when they get home. I agree. I'll fix it up for you later. Arigato, Rena-chan. Thank you. How kind of you, Rena. Now come on, Kei-chan. The terminally ill need their rest. Come, back in bed. Did he wake up in another timeline? I don't know. Both of them urged me up the stairs. I had no chance to call Oishi-san. I was pushed into my bed. As it was the first time Mion had been in my room, she began searching around it intently. She fiddled around my room and was scolded by Rena. You can imagine how it went. It was uncomfortable having my room poked around, but the conversation was so benign that it was heartwarming. This is weird, I agree. During the innocent conversation, Mion said something as though it was perfectly ordinary. Rena, Did you call the manager? Yep. Right after I called Mi-chan. He said he'll be right over.
Manager? That out-of-place word gave me a bad feeling. Rena called the doctor, then called Mion, and after that she called a manager? Who was this manager? Since Rena and Mion's conversation was so peaceful, it only felt slightly odd. What are you two talking about? Who's this manager?
Didn't you know, Kei-chan? We mean the manager when we say manager. I don't know what it means. Explain. Like the director of a movie, or like a foreman of a construction site. It's the laugh. It's a laugh.
Oishi-san? I dug through all my memories for a manager who might have business with me. Only one thing came to mind. What Rena had just said. The construction site foreman. The very first victim of the first incident, the dismemberment at the damn construction site. The foreman? But that was strange. He was supposed to be dead. There's no way they would call him. I think he's overthinking this. I don't understand what you guys are talking about. What does that manager have to do with me? You said he was coming. Did you mean to my house? I asked one obvious question after another. But all the two of them did was smile coolly at each other. Quiet. Oh my gosh, I X'd out of... Wait, sorry. Give me a sec. I pressed the wrong tab by accident.
ちょっと待って。
Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Sorry about that. Alright.
ちょっと待って。はい。
There was a huge difference between how the two of them appeared and how my suspicions were playing out. Slowly, I felt discomfort and panic welling up inside me. Yeah, what if he's already dead? I couldn't understand what Rena and Mion were talking about.
Kei-chan, you've gotten into baseball lately, haven't you? I knew it. It was something to do with baseball. I was thinking that to myself. I was like, some club manager? Pretty sure the manager will be happy to hear that.
So who is this manager?
The manager is a manager.
Okay, never mind. Maybe I'm wrong. Her laughter is making me very, uncomfortable. So who is this manager? Is it that laugh? I mean, is that funny? Is that funny? そんなに面白い? Lol. Rena and Mion looked at each other and laughed haughtily. The disturbing cackle unpleasantly resounded around me. That laugh, long enough to be unsettling, ended abruptly. Oh yeah, we should finish up before the manager comes. You remember, don't you, Kei-chan? Her face was laughing, but Mion's eyes told a different story. Remember what?
Keiichi-kun, had he forgotten, I wonder? About the penalty. About the penalty.
I'm so confused. 何が起こっている? Did you really forget? The homework with the mochi? The homework where you were supposed to guess which one Rena made? You forgot about that homework, didn't you? I certainly did have that homework, but I had thrown away the rest of the mochi after I found that sewing needle. So I wasn't able to answer which one Rena made. The penalty for that? Why now? No doubt my question was written all over my face. Their answer to my question was that dry laughter. I could no longer make heads or tails of anything. I began to think that this entire day was somehow insane. It is strange, incomprehensible. Being chased by Rena. Attacked by strange men. The penalty Mion and Rena were talking about.
What were those two laughing at? It didn't take that long for me to realize I had been dragged into an abnormal situation. Who were these two? Who were these people? Who were these doppelgangers of Rena and Mion? Alright. It's over. It's over. 今度こそ終わりでしょ。It's over for sure now. I'm gonna drink some tea. お茶飲みます。It's over, guys. Rena had gotten behind me at some point. Why was she pinning my arms behind my back? What are you doing? Don't move. This is your penalty. Keiichi Shisu. My body was already very sluggish, and Rena pinning my arms made it much harder to move. I seriously tried to struggle, but she wouldn't even budge. My panic began to well up, and I realized this was well beyond the realm of jokes and pleasantries. This freakishly monstrous strength. It would have been impossible for the Rena that I knew. What is wrong with Keiichi? I think Keiichi needs to rest. He's been... For some reason, Rena's been stronger than him so far. Keiichi... Or maybe Keiichi's just weak. I don't know. 救急車はどうした？本当にね。What happened to the doctor? Then, these thin, frail arms grasped me firmly. Whose arms were they? Hey-chan, no struggling. Club rules, there are no exceptions. You can't fight against the penalty. Mion. No, the thing that looked like Mion spoke to me like how Mion would speak to me. Wait. Let me get this straight. Spoke to me like how Mion would speak to me. So it's just Mion speaking to him. I don't know why he's so freaked out. Keiichi's just weak soy boy. Shinu. ただ弱くなったね。But I was certain that this was not Mion. Someone who wasn't Mion. Someone who was just pretending to be Mion. Hehehe. Need to finish this up before the manager comes. Who's the manager? Mion fished into her pockets and pulled out something bizarre. I couldn't tell what it was just by looking, but for such a thing to be in her pocket, my mind wouldn't accept it. What is that? It was a small syringe. 何？怖いんだけど。何？ Needles? I don't like needles. No, please. No, not the needle. Not the needle. Steven, this is worse. I don't know what this is. What is the needle? 薬か。なるほど。Doug-san said it might be medicine. But still, why would they have that? 朝ここ。It was a small syringe. It was a small clear syringe, like what a doctor would use when you went to him when you were sick. Rena held me even tighter. And I could hear that clattering laughter that no longer sounded like laughter blaring into my ear. That eerie laughter, it wasn't something that the Rena I knew could ever produce from her own throat. This thing that was pretending to be Rena. Was this their real laugh? Unable to defend myself, the syringe Mion was holding drew closer, and that needle tip was waved in front of my face countless times. Don't worry. It won't hurt. Thankfully, it isn't the plug type, Asako. I don't know which one's worse. What are you planning on doing? What kind of sick joke is this? What are you saying, Kei-chan? You know exactly what's going on, don't you? About what? I don't understand any of this at all. I know you know. No use playing the fool this late in the game. Stop talking nonsense to try and confuse me. You're going to have done to you what happened to Tomitake-san. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. やばい。やばい。あ。What? The same as 富武さん富武かわいそう。Poor 富武さん。I didn't really understand what she meant. What did that have to do with the syringe? You're playing dumb, Keiichi-kun. You should have realized it by now. Rena whispered in my ear, laughing as if to admonish me. But even the way she spoke was repulsive beyond compare. Who is Tomitake, Keiichi's first love? Wait. Okay. Tomitake was a cameraman that came to take pictures in Hinamizawa, but he died on the night of the Watanagashi festival that took place in the village. Yeah, he was about to leave back to Tokyo, but then he was found dead. Yeah, and they were saying because it's probably because of the curse of the village or something of the Oyashiro-sama. Yeah. I'm confused as hell. Sorry. Yeah, but yeah, that's who Tomitake is. He was basically a dude, his cameraman. He's the one that piqued Keiichi's curiosity about the whole incidents in village murders and stuff. And yeah, he died. So anyway, but I believe the police investigation concluded that Tomitake wasn't killed due to drugs. So he didn't have any drugs in his system. So anyway. Bum. You have been playing dumb, Keiichi-kun. You should have realized it by now. Anyway, sorry, I was reading from the beginning. But even the way she spoke was repulsive beyond compare. Playing dumb? Me? About what? What do you mean? The same as Tomitake-san. I even thought at first that it was a hit and run. Oh, see, they're gonna explain it here. I don't even need to explain it to you. もうここで説明されるじゃん。Tomitakeのこと。Except when the officer got closer to check if he was still alive, he soon noticed it wasn't a normal situation. His throat was scratched out. From a knife or something? No. Nails. Nails? Nails as in fingernails? With those gouged through? That's right. Tomitake-san had clawed out his own throat with his own nails and died. There's no way someone could die like that. So then, for that to happen, we thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature was detected. That's right. The police didn't find any drugs in Tomitake-san's system. The police told me they didn't find any drugs in Tomitake-san's body. Great. Oh, that was a laugh? The two of them laughed together with that sickening laughter. Of course they laughed. To assume that such a medicine didn't exist just because the police didn't know about it was completely foolish. Duck laugh. Meaning, the drug that caused Tomitake-san to die in such a bizarre manner did exist? If Mion injected this into me, then that would probably be all the proof I needed. That would basically mean I'd end up the same as Tomitake-san. Become hysterical, scratch out my throat in my last moments, then die. For such an outrageous drug to exist. For Mion to be holding it, and then I was about to be injected with it. At that moment, I did not feel there was any need whatsoever to question it. What kind of idiot, when he's trying to dodge a ball flying straight for his face, has time to think of a reason as to why it's flying at him? Just give up. Alright then. Mion's action lacked any gravitas? Words? And that made it even more terrifying. There was none of the ceremony like when someone is sentenced to death. There was no hesitation at all, as if she were brushing her teeth. Mion reached out with one hand and grabbed onto my chest. It felt like electricity had run through the back of my head and the entire world had gone dark. Did I stand up too fast? Or did someone hit me really hard in the back of the head? What's happening? 何が起こった? Having lost my sense of balance, I was assaulted by a wave of dizziness. I'm gonna drink some tea. お茶飲みます。Something's happening. Are we halfway through the chapter? I squatted down for a bit. When I came back to my senses, my entire room had changed drastically. The numbness in my head was gone, and slowly, I could tell blood was flowing to my extremities again. How long had I been squatting here? How many minutes? Or had it been hours? It was almost as if the hands on the clock had stopped moving the entire time my eyes were closed. That's how little time passed. Really? The air in the room wasn't filled with that madness from before, only a dull silence. Rena wasn't there pinning my arms, and Mion wasn't there about to inject me with a needle. What's happening? No way. Could it be? All of it was a hallucination? There was no other presence in the room besides my own. It was the weirdest experience I'd ever had. I was certainly with Rena and Mion. I doubted my sanity for a moment, but I was also seized with some sort of comfort. Ha ha ha. I guess the terrible ordeal was a hallucination. Neither Rena nor Mion. They wouldn't ever do something so terrible. My head grew hot. I could tell my emotions were welling up. Why? There wasn't a reason to cry. Why? It was sorrow. Why was I sad? I don't understand. I don't understand. Kind to everyone, not discriminating against age or gender. Mion. What? Yabai? That Mion was sprawled by the window in an unnatural pose. Blood stained her a deep red from her head down to her chest. The bright crimson smeared on the walls. That splatter had undoubtedly come from Mion. She always had that bright smile and was kind to me from the day I transferred. Rena. That same Rena, what slumped at my feet and was making the same pool of blood as Mion. Owatta. It's over. I couldn't comprehend what had happened. Did someone come to save me? Then they beat those two down? With this metal bat? I finally noticed the weight in my right hand. How long had it been there? It was Satoshi's metal bat. It was covered in a deep red. There is no doubt that this was the weapon used to mutilate both of them. Honey wa omae da! And it was you, Keiichi! And I was holding that weapon. I was the only person in the house. What? Looking at this objectively, I couldn't think of anyone other than myself who could have done it. I did this? That's right, Keiichi Maebara. Of course I did it. I told myself gently, as if coaxing myself. Hey, me. There is no reason for you to remember it, nor is there a reason to regret it. Nor is there a need to regret it. Eat or be eaten. Kuu ka, kuwareru ka. You get that, don't you? But the blood, there's so much. Neither Rena nor Mion had moved an inch. It wasn't just a split forehead and a trickle of blood. Nothing that simple. The entire room was splattered with red, and that told me it didn't end with just 2 or 3 strikes. Were they dead? Both of them? The depths of my mind were calm, but on the surface I was panicky and agitated. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. What happened to your usual calm self? Keiichi just killed 2 people. I knew it. Keiichi's the one who's insane. Everyone was fine. Keiichi's the one who's a psycho. みんなは大丈夫で、ケイチだけが頭おかしかったんじゃないのこれは。Come on now. Do like you always do. Throw your head back and take a deep breath. Come on. Once. Twice. Breathe deeply. Calm down. Calm down. I chanted that over and over in my head and relaxed. Keiichi, I am calm. Also Keiichi. Ree! Entire VN in a nutshell. Entire game in a nutshell. Color came back to my vision and smells reinfused the air. At the same time, I remembered what happened when I blacked out. When Emuri had attacked me, they were about to inject me with whatever caused the same symptoms as Tomitake-san, but right before that happened, I fought back. I twisted my whole body and threw Rena as she was pinning my arms. Then I followed through with my spin and ran my foot as hard as I could into Mion's torso. It was soft. Rena tried jumping on me, so I tackled her as hard as I could and slammed her against the wall. I didn't let the brief moment of having them off balance slip by. Satoshi's bat that was left carelessly by the side of my desk. This is messed up. Weep. At that moment, everything went pitch black. There was nothing recorded past this point in the videotape of my mind. No, that wasn't right. It wasn't that there was nothing recorded. It was recorded just fine. Just... The other me inside myself had told me not to look and had turned off the TV. I know what this is. This is the opening scene to the anime, isn't it? Yeah, it has to be. To episode 1 of the anime. Just because the screen had gone black and I couldn't see it didn't mean that the videotape with me had recorded it. Netabare じゃないよ、もうここまでやったんだから。鬼隠し。アニメの第1話の一番初めのシーンだからね、多分。I'm just thinking it's probably the opening scene of episode 1. Because this is exactly what was happening in it. The TV was just off. The video was still playing. The tape within me creaking along, still playing. On the other end of that pitch black screen, the horrifying video was still playing on. Mukashi no anime そのシーンはそんなに早くなかった？本当に？なんか、私も昔のアニメ見たんだけど、なんかと間違えてたかな？あれCompared to this though, the scene right before my eyes, was still so difficult to take in. There was blood splattered everywhere on the walls, the two of them in these unnatural poses. Not a sign of movement from them. I couldn't even tell if they were breathing. No matter what the circumstances were, my friends, these girls, I had attacked them. I may have even killed them. But if I hadn't done this, I would have been the one done for. Balancing that out on an imaginary scale, it felt odd that I'd even feel bad about it. Even it was a bit excessive. This was just justifiable self-defense. Is it really? The proof was all here. The two of them collapsed here, and Mion's syringe. Mion's syringe filled with some unknown drug would certainly solve the mystery surrounding the incident with Tomitake-san. And from the fact that both of these two were involved, they'd be able to pick out the criminals one after the other. Still, I might be suspected for this, but that was just fine. Anyway, now this should be a police affair. This shouldn't fade into darkness like Rena's past incidents. As long as the police were involved, that should bring this to a close. He just killed 2 of his friends, ? Why is he why does he not feel anything? They'll probably revisit their imagination. They'll They'll probably revisit their investigation on the chain of incidents. Oishi-san would definitely get to the bottom of it. Meaning my wish of not wanting to die, of wanting to know the truth. That would be fulfilled in its most basic form. It was a matter of time now. It was all a matter of time now. The Dr. Rena called should be getting here soon. I'll confess everything to him. I needed to contact Oishi-san. At that moment I remembered, besides the doctor, a manager had been called. It was easy to imagine that there was someone deeply involved with the incidents, judging from Rena and Mion's conversation. The ache in my chest, caused by the gruesome deed I'd done, dissipated rapidly. It was not over yet. This place was no longer safe. Stay calm, Keiichi Maebara. It's not over yet. I needed to live long enough to tell the police of this incident. At that moment, I felt like I heard someone's voice from outside. Since people were speaking, it must mean there was more than one person. I moved the curtain ever so slightly and peered outside. It was a bizarre sight. About 4 or 5 grown men were all gathered at the gate. They very much resembled the 2 men who had assaulted me at the dam site today. Those 2 might even be among them. There was one person there wearing a white coat, but he didn't look like a doctor at all. My gut told me he was in disguise, only posing as a doctor. That guy would probably ring the bell and get me to open the front door, pretend to be a doctor to get me to open the door, and then the rest of them would all rush in at once. At that moment, I saw the car parked behind the men, and my heart nearly skipped a beat. Is it Oishi? Oh, the white van! No mistaking it. That van, the one that had tried to run me down? The man in the white coat entered the gate and headed towards the front door. The rest of the men hid in the bushes and watched him. I probably couldn't pretend that I wasn't home. Undoubtedly, they would just break the window and enter. I needed to get out of here somehow, then use a public phone to contact Oishi-san, then meet up somewhere. First of all, I needed a weapon, then shoes. But before all that, there was one thing that I had to do. I had no intention of dying. I'd live and reveal the truth about this nonsensical curse of Oyashiro-sama. But what would happen from here on, regardless of how determined I was, may bring about my demise. And that was why there was one thing more important than getting out of here right now. I need to get that clock out quickly and take down the note hidden behind it. Oh yeah, guys, so he wrote, in one of the other chapters, he wrote like a note in case he ever died, and he put it behind the clock, just so someone could read it, you know. Damn it, the tape was sticking to it fast. I'd be fine if it was torn a little. I opened up the slightly torn note and began writing another passage with a ballpoint pen. If I wasn't able to inform Oishi-san, then the only thing I could rely on was this note. I never thought a piece of torn college rule notebook paper could be this reliable before. I had no time. I'd only write what I knew right now. I needed to leave some sort of information that would lead them to uncover the truth. Rena and Mion are conspirators of the perpetrators. What? This was an undeniable fact. I still didn't want to believe it, but it was a fact. Anyway, I'd leave all the information that would help lead them to finding the perpetrators. There are 4 or 5 adults, maybe more. They have a white van. This was everything I was able to see from the window. There may be more. Also, there was an unidentified person known as the manager. To begin with, the term manager didn't even mesh with Hinamizawa at all. If they were going to include the managers from the past incidents, then the only one is the construction foreman, the victim from the first murder. The very first victim in the chain of incidents. I still think they meant baseball manager. Killed in a lynching, his body divided into 6 pieces. His right arm was never discovered. The police should have confirmed that death. But Rena and Mion did both call him manager. They said manager. They wouldn't use that term to refer to someone who was dead. The police would never even conceive that someone who was deceased could be involved. Could that be some sort of oversight? I didn't know. But even if I didn't know, it could be a big hint for Oishi-san. That's right. They needed to start fresh from the first incident. It wasn't just a simple dismemberment, but the start of the string of mysterious deaths that would follow. So then, there must be something hidden there. Please, reinvestigate the victim from the dismemberment incident. He's alive. His death should have been established after an autopsy. Logically, you would think as much. But was that really the case? Could it have been some sort of ploy that they were able to deceive the police with? I shouldn't jump to conclusions. But he may still be alive. I had no time to ponder that right now. Oh yeah, there's something even more important I needed to write. Tomitake-san's death was from an unknown drug. That's right. That drug. It was an irreplaceable piece of evidence. No doubt. Just by having this, everything will be uncovered. I couldn't just leave that vital clue lying on the floor. This syringe is proof. Writing that down, I stuck the syringe onto the back of the clock with plenty of tape, so it absolutely would not slip out and fall to the floor. Firmly, firmly. Ding dong. The bell rang. Ping pong. They were here. I couldn't write anymore. But even still, there was one last thing I had to write. I have no idea why it has become like this. This may be the closest thing to the truth out of everything I've wrote on this note. If you're reading this, then I am probably already dead. Though you may or may not find my body. If I was going to write out everything that could happen, either dying from the curse or being demoned away, you who are reading this, please uncover the truth. That is my only desire. With this, my last will and testament was complete. It wasn't certain that I was going to die, but it was my final plea, just in case. I folded a note, stuck it in the back of the clock, and returned the clock back to its usual spot. I couldn't help but pray. Oishi-san, if something happens to me, I'll leave the rest to you. After that, I gazed down silently at Rena and Mion. This was probably the last time we'd ever see each other. Rena, Mion, I really had thought all of us were friends. But why did it end up like this? I never had any fun in my previous school. I only worried about standardized test scores, about if the school I hoped to get into was where I really wanted to go or a safety net. That was all I talked about. It was a dull life. The people I called friends were also my rivals in studying, competitions and personal records and standardized test scores. Everyone here taught me how unhealthy that lifestyle was. This month was really fun. Make a fuss over lunch, make a fuss over the club, make a fuss over the festival. Something hot began dripping from my face. Uncontrollable tears. I should have had no obligation to shed tears for them. I mean, you just killed them, bro. But they wouldn't stop. Even if they were after my life. Even if they were trying to kill me. Everything that happened this month, I wouldn't forget it. Or could it be those happy days were all a facade as well? Was it all a trap, meticulously orchestrated up until today, to ensnare me? Could it have been that I had arbitrarily assumed that they were all my friends? That couldn't have been the case. Both Rena and Mion, they were really my friends. Those happy days, there was nothing fake or unclear about them. Someone probably forced them to try to kill me. Or their minds were taken over, possessed by the supernatural entity known as Oyashiro-sama. Regardless, both Rena and Mion, they were the best friends ever. And when they were coming after me, it wasn't of their own volition. Wait. They weren't the kind of people to sell off their friends regardless of whether or not they were forced. Yeah, he's really lost it, Rao-san. I think he's trying to make excuses up this point to make himself feel better that he just killed two girls that were his friends that were probably just worried about him. I don't know. I don't believe him anymore. I don't believe Keiichi anymore. There's no way such a thing like being possessed by Oyashiro-sama could happen in reality. Keiichi's still dumb, I agree. Then, did the real Rena and Mion come after me? What was I thinking? What a silly, dumb idea. Having beaten down both Rena and Mion, I was still debating if they were the real ones or fakes. There was no real or fake, only the reality that was before me. Rena and Mion were sprawled out at my feet. That was the only truth. I was only trying to twist the facts to my benefit. That I had beaten my friends to death. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So. Exactly. No matter how I spun it, it wouldn't change reality. Rena and Mion were both dead. It felt like there was a crack in the dam of strange, emotions I was holding back. It felt like my calm state, which was nothing more than a bluff, had receded, and in that opening, insanity was leaking out. I killed them. Rena and Mion, I killed them. The doorbell rang again. The unrelenting echo pulled me back into a state of composure once again. I didn't have a moment to spare. Quickly, I needed to get away. I didn't want to die. I would uncover everything after that. The identity of whoever or whatever had pushed me this far. Even if I had to drink mud and eat grass, I would survive. I would definitely survive. He's not going to survive. I killed Rena for that very reason. I also killed Mion. I went that far just to keep living, so I can't die. For my sake and for the sake of the late Rena and Mion, I have to survive. I ran towards the door and grabbed my shoes. The doorbell rang again as if to urge me on. Behind the single solitary door, they were there. Keeping quiet, I headed towards the kitchen. Headed towards the back door. Before opening the back door, I put my ear to it and checked for people outside. No one? After I put on my shoes, I opened the door slowly so as to not make a sound. There he is, the back door! A piercing voice echoed out. That voice stabbed through me, setting my hair on end. I had to run. Get out of here, Keiichi. One after the other, I felt stuff like rational intelligence, those things you use when you have time to spare, spill out of me. I didn't feel any pain from the branches scratching my arms and forehead. Yikes. My autonomously pulsing heart also felt neither fatigue nor pain. My entire being just wished to live. There was nothing else it desired. It probably had no complaints whatsoever, so of course I wouldn't feel fatigue. I just ran. Yeah, adrenaline. I just recklessly rushing in the direction I was already heading. Even if nobody was chasing after me, I'd still be running like this. There wasn't a thought in my mind about where I was headed. Turning around, I felt a presence right next to me. That presence was, without a doubt, chasing me like my shadow. If I took even one more misstep, I would be devoured. That's what I thought. So I didn't turn around. I didn't stop. I ran at full speed. Quack, 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 quack. That was the chirping of the Higurashi telling me it was evening, trying to tell me something, and then I finally heard it. The wailing cry of the victims who didn't make it. Would I be joining them? Only the Higurashi knew. They knew everything. They definitely knew. So I ran towards where I could hear more of the Higurashi's chirps, but the farther I ran, the farther away the chirping became. I couldn't get near them. Why are you all running away? Was it my fault? Was I the one to blame? Then I'll apologize. I'm sorry. 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 I felt that only the Higurashi knew. Is it over? まだあるのかな? Achievement unlocked. Chased by the shadows. The smoking room was filled with a cloud of cigarette smoke. The expensive smoke filter gave off some crackling electric noise, but it didn't seem like it was doing anything at all. Why do smokers have to be shoved so far down this corridor where the sun didn't even reach? I recalled hearing that the tax revenue from tobacco was about 1/10 of the municipality's revenue. We were the most heavily taxed members of this municipality, so I really wished they'd show us a little more respect. What's happening? Where are we? Why would you discard the 5 manzu there? It's just decreasing your options. One of the younger detectives was having a staring contest with the mahjong magazine called Next Turn. You still in tenpai if you cut the 5 manzu. Talking about mahjong. I should do a mahjong stream. I haven't played mahjong in a while. If you're betting on a haite, then shouldn't you be going into it with a mangan? Oishi-san, yeah. Kuma-chan, look at the pond. They all discarded a 5 manzu. It's a safe tile. You'd hate if at endgame someone was sitting on tenpai on the last turn, wouldn't you? Yeah, Oishi-san POV, I guess. Gonna drink some tea. I guess we're not exactly over yet. The kid let out another groan, put out his cigarette, then took out another one. I just don't agree. Why would you reduce your own options? By the way, you can't call Ron with your winning title in the haite. What? Why is that? Wait, Rao-san, you're going to stream? Oh, thank you so much for staying. Good luck on your stream, by the way, when you go stream. By the way, you can't call Ron with your winning title in that haite. Why? Why is that? Just then I heard a voice coming from down the hall. Are you here, Oishi-san? You have a call from a civilian. Oh no. Whoa, ain't that something? Well, see you soon. Great guy can multitask, yes. Well, why can't you call Ron on it? Hold on for a second, Oishi-san. The man sitting in the seat Oishi-san was heading towards waved at the telephone receiver. Outside line, from a payphone. Oh, why, thank you. Sorry to keep you waiting. This is Oishi. Who is it? Ah, Oishi-san? Hello? If it isn't, I'm gonna change to Oishi's voice. If it isn't Maebara-san, why, good evening. From the tone Maebara-kun's voice, I already knew he was in a predicament. This was the first time Maebara-kun had phoned me, and he was calling from a payphone. Please calm down. Did something happen? Yes. Well. Ah! His voice was erratic over the line. He had completely lost his sense of composure. After checking that nobody else could hear, I prompted him in a hushed tone. What happened? Calm down, Maebara-san. I can have the local officers head to your location. I'll be there soon, too. I think that's impossible. His voice was quivering and hoarse. He wasn't surrounded by people even as he was making his call, was he? Maebara-san, you're calling from a payphone right now, right? Where's that payphone? There was no other sounds besides Maebara-kun's voice. It had to be a phone booth. I scratched out a note and thrust it at my colleague sitting across me. Hinamizawa, phone booth. He understood quickly and hastily started on the internal lines. Calm down, Maebara-san. What is your current situation? Calm down, Maebara-san. What is your current situation? It usually wasn't a good idea to tell someone panicking to do so, but this was not a usual case. Maebara-kun didn't just get into trouble, get away, and then call me. He was in the midst of something dangerous right now. But Maebara-kun right now would just needlessly cause him to be even more frantic. Maebara-kun wasn't just calling to seek help. He was trying to tell us something more than that. And whatever that was, if I didn't get it from this call, I was certain there would never be another chance. Bye, Rao-san! Thank you! Arigato! Gamba, Rao-san! Thank you so much for coming! Arigato! See you again! Mata ne! My colleague pushed a note in front of me. There's only one booth in Hinamizawa. A patrol car is on the way. 5 minutes. That's too long. How many officers are in there? 2. Not enough. If it was as I imagined, there was likely quite a few people surrounding Maebara-kun. 5 minutes was too long. Did you call the officer station in Hinamizawa? He's scheduled to be on patrol. They're currently out, and it will be impossible to contact them. God damn. Kuma-chan, bring the car around. Understood. Hello? Oishi-san? Oops, I just clicked out of the game. Hello? It's alright. I can hear you loud and clear. There was something wrong with Maebara-kun. That wasn't a normal coughing sound. vomiting? Or was it blood? Had he already been attacked? Was he injured?
Maebara-san, the police are on their way. They'll be there in a couple minutes, so hold on somehow. Hello? Can you hear me? Maebara-san? I could hear on the other end of the line that he was having a coughing fit. The worst possible situation popped into my head. Maebara-san! Who's the culprit? How many are there? I thought... At first the culprit was human. I couldn't tell if that was a cough or vomiting. Are you alright? Maebara-san! I thought that the culprit was a person, and not Oyashiro-sama's curse, up until right now. But I guess in the end, it was an intense bout of coughing, then vomiting. But I guess Oyashiro-sama does exist. No, he's here. Maebara-san, please. Just please calm down. I have been thinking it was strange for a while now. It's been following me this whole time. I run and run and run and run, but it just sticks to me like my shadow. But slowly, so slowly, it's digging itself into my back. Maebara-san, are they right now, perhaps, right behind you? Behind me, right behind me. Please, Maebara-san, I can tell you're scared, but please, who is it that's right behind you? I can't just look behind me. If I do, I'll... I understand that you're scared, but please tell me. You just need to turn around a bit. Who is it? Who's behind you, Maebara-san? Right after I said that, I could hear him vomiting intensely. What followed was a nightmarish sound. Maebara-san, it couldn't be that you're clawing out your own throat? I thought so too. Same symptoms as Tomitake-san. He's ripping out his own throat. どういうこと? There was no answer, but I could hear something like scratching. There was a bang as if something was being hit. Maebara could have probably dropped the receiver. I could hear groaning and vomiting over on the other end, and a repeating abnormal noise. Hello? Hello? Maebara-san? Hello? I knew how far away my voice would sound on the other end, but I couldn't help but shout. At that moment I heard whispering coming from the other end. I couldn't tell what he was saying. From the way he was saying it, was he talking to himself? Or was he talking to someone there? Hello? Maebara-san? Rather than whispering, it was some kind of mantra he was chanting over and over. I focused my senses trying to pick up what he was saying. What was he repeating? What exactly? Beep! Suddenly the line went dead. Did he use up his time? It was because it was a payphone! It was because it cut so abruptly. The last thing he said came out so clearly in my mind. Oishi-san. Oh, Oishi-san! The car is good to go! Oishi-san? It was, I'm sorry. Oishi-san? That's what he was repeating over and over. He said, I'm sorry. Wow, this really is like a curse. I had a gut feeling. There was no longer a need to hurry. I could hear the chirp of the Higurashi spilling in from the open window. I should have been able to hear them this entire time. Rook-san says, it'd be funny if that syringe Mion had was to prevent this. Oh my gosh, I know, right? Oh my gosh, you're right. It'd be funny. Oh my gosh. F. I just wasn't paying any attention. Why did I focus on them all of a sudden? Were they trying to sell me something? Tell me something? Only the Higurashi knew. That's how I felt. Well, there's 7 other games to find out. Is it over? What the? July 1983. In Hinamizawa, a remote village near Shishiboni City, there was a murder involving 2 female students. The suspect is Keiichi Maebara. Oh my gosh, that was too fast. Aged something. The suspect called over his 2 female classmates, Renaryugu, Mion Sonozaki, to his house and beat them to death with a metal bat. Yikes. His parents must be horrified. The scene of the crime was the suspect's room on the 2nd floor of his house. The inside of the room was covered with a significant quantity of splattered blood, and there were signs of struggle with the victims,
In addition to the scene of the crime, the entryway, living room, and kitchen all had traces of a struggle. Oh my gosh, what happened? At the entryway, the shoe rack and wall had evidence of being impacted by a strong blunt force. It is believed to have been the same bat as the murder weapon. Oh yeah, that. He didn't fix it. Having no traces of blood, it is believed that destruction occurred before the murders. There is a possibility that the suspect overpowered his victims to keep them from fleeing. In the living room, the rug had been pulled back, then thrown aside. It is hard to believe that this had a connection to the struggle with the victims, and thus the reason for this remains unknown. In the kitchen, the garbage bag was torn apart and its contents were spread out on the floor. Garbage was strewn about in the surrounding area, and handprints believed to belong to the suspect were discovered. Oh yeah, that was him when he was looking for a needle. It is believed that the suspect had for some reason taken out the garbage and struck it with his fist. The reason for this remains unknown. In addition, there was a note stuck to the fridge. The words, "Was there a needle?" was written on it. The meaning behind this remains unclear. Just in case, the garbage was searched, but a needle was not discovered. Alright. Keiichi was brain dead the whole time. Though the garage door was functional, it had been left open ever since the suspect moved in. The garage door was found closed. The suspect's fingerprints were discovered on the garage door. The reason behind this remains unknown. Yeah. Keiichi must have been the dumb one. The suspects fled the scene of the crime. However, a patrolling officer, Hinamizawa local PD, found the suspect collapsed inside a phone booth. At the time of the discovery, the suspect was unconscious in critical condition. He was rushed to a local hospital for treatment, but did not regain consciousness and died 24 hours later. RIP! The results of the autopsy indicate the immediate cause of death to have been hypovolemic shock, same as Tomitake. It was determined that the suspect had clawed at his own throat with his fingernails, and the resulting bleeding caused his death. With a similarity to the death of Tomitake-san the prior week, the police believe there has to be a connection and open an investigation. However, due to the wish of the local authorities, it will be a confidential investigation. Due to the abnormal nature of the death, it was suspected that drugs were involved, but as with Tomitake-san, no traces were discovered. What prompted all this remains inexplicable. As such, this case has been treated as an act committed on impulse. However, with such several accounts of the suspect's bizarre behavior leading up to the incident, oh my god, it's so fast! It is possible that this was premeditated. Separated from his group of friends, isolation, inexplicable behavior. Several days before the incident, the suspect began carrying around a metal bat. The suspect was observed displaying aggressive behavior as well as talking to himself at school. His classmates have actually heard portions of what he was saying. 2 days before the incident, the suspect declared to his parents the possibility of his death. Due to these circumstances, I can't read. Circumstances, the police have begun an investigation on the possibility that this crime was not committed on impulse. I can't read! But was instead planned several days in advance. Alright, afterwards. I'm rapping. A note was found in the suspect's room that he had written himself. The note was written on 2 sheets from a B5 college ruled notebook. ちょっと待って。早い! The note was written on 2 sheets from a B5 college ruled notebook that had each been torn in half. And as if trying to conceal, it was hidden behind a clock on the wall. The contents are as written in the appendix. The police believe it to be strongly related to the incident. The police changed the line of investigation based on the possibility that the suspect was involved in some sort of incident himself. However, no further clues were found, casting doubt on the credibility of the note. Was the crime impulsive or premeditated? With the situation unclear and no further developments, the case has been labeled as unresolved. Emuri V rapping. Emuri training arc to defeat Eminem. However, the following year, suspicion arose regarding the nature of the note. The note was not written on 2 halves of B5 paper from 2 separate sheets, but was originally a single sheet of B5 paper. Okay? In order to erase several lines from the middle, someone had torn them out. Eh? Wait, that's creepy. ちょっと待って. Someone had torn them out. Judging from the size of the letters, the missing section is estimated to be 2 to 3 lines. It is highly probable that the person who eliminated the lines in question is not the suspect. In addition, judging from traces of large quantities of cellophane tape being stuck on the back of the clock, speculation that someone other than the note was stuck there has arisen. Eh? Oishi didn't get a chance to look at the contents of the note, I guess so! Oh, his efforts were for nothing. Rip Keiichi. The person who first discovered the crime was a detective rumored to have a connection with the incident, Kurado Oishi. He underwent voluntary questioning but denies involvement in any damages to the note. The suspect's note. I, Keiichi Maebara, am in fear for my life. I do not know why they are after my life. The only thing I do know is that it has to do with Oyashiro-sama's curse. Ren and Mion are conspirators of the perpetrators. There are 4 or 5 adults, maybe more. They have a white van. This is all on the first sheet. Everything below this has been ripped out. What else did he write again? This is from the second sheet. Everything above this has been ripped out. I have no idea why it has become like this. If you're reading this, then I am probably already dead. Though the only difference might be the presence or lack of a body. You who are reading this, please uncover the truth. That is my only desire. Does anyone remember what it was? Keiichi Maebara. Eh? 何だったの? What got ripped out? Does anyone remember? Does anyone remember the missing section? I don't remember what he wrote originally. I don't know if he even stated it. What the? He talks about the syringe. Oh. So maybe it really was like a cure or something. It's some secret fluid in there. Oh yeah, and he taped the syringe to the clock. The syringe is gone. Wait, what did I unlock? I didn't see that. Nani? New scenario. Alright, I don't think I have enough battery to look at those, but interesting. I'm gonna save, I guess. Wait, is there a save? Oh wait, no, I guess it already saved for me. New scenario. どういう意味? Extra. Oh, it's these. Chapter jump, all cast review session. Yeah, he talks about the syringe and about the evidence of Tomitake. Yeah, he taped the syringe to the back of the clock and they said the syringe went missing. So there was definitely something inside the syringe that someone didn't want getting out there. But Mion had it. As someone, one of you guys said that, well, I think it was Ruku-san. Ruku-san said that it might be like, watch it be like a cure or something. Yeah. I could see why that would be a mystery. Or why that would need to be kept secret, but like, yikes. I guess we're done. I'm not gonna do... I don't know how long the all-cast review is. But, yeah, it might be just a clarification. But I'm not gonna do it because I'm at 32% of battery. So, ちょっとね、バッテリーが 32% なので、ちょっと、オールキャストレビューはちょっとやりません。はい。でも、終わっちゃったね。We finished it. Wow. And this is only the first game out of the 8 main games. Yeah, まだこれね、一つ目だよね。ゲーム。まだ、あと、確かこれ1話っていうね。1話目なんだよ。チャプター1。鬼隠し。あとね、他にね、7話もあったはずだよ。メインのストーリーはね。うん。There's 8 main games, yes. There's 8 main games. And this is supposed to just be the introduction. The game is longer than anime, yes. Because the anime is a speedrun of this. アニメは RTA 版なので。The anime speed runs through what I just played like crazy. I watched two episodes of the old anime, and it really was like going through it really fast. Personally, I enjoyed the VN. There was a lot more detail, and it felt more like serious and suspense. Anime has 2 seasons, but many episodes. Plus, I think it was like 50 episodes. Plus, there's like OVA or something. I don't know. Yeah, and then there's a new anime too. Yep, anime is usually shorter. Yeah, it covered it less in detail. I saw 2 episodes. It was like what took me 13 hours was covered in 2 episodes. It didn't feel coming from the game, it didn't feel as serious when watching an anime. Like, I felt like, oh my gosh, they left out that detail. How could they? Sort of thing. You know? But I'm not sure if they cover it later in anime. But, wow. I need to know what happened. I need to find out. 知りたい、何が起こったか。本当に。Crazy, right? Crazy game. That was a hell of a ride. Yeah, I know. Thanks for the stream. Was a crazy plot. You're welcome. Yeah, it was crazy. Thanks for watching. I need to retry the game. Seems interesting. You should. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it ended. By the way, this first chapter, it's called Chapter 1 of the series, because there's 8 main games. So Chapter 1, Onikakushi, is free on Steam. これは Steam でタダでやれるけど. The rest of the chapters are like, I think $6, $7? Maybe $8? Yeah, $8 each? Yeah, sort of thing. I'm gonna close the game. Hi. Alright, let's put on some music. Sorry for the unnerving black screen. Alright, let's talk. お話ししよう、ちょっと。At least Keiichi dies. Great ending. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Keiichi, bye bye. That was pretty crazy. Would you continue? So I'm at the point where I'm wondering, do I want to just watch the rest in anime form, or do I want to play the rest of the games? And personally, I might play through the games. 他のゲームもやろうと思ってる。But I won't stream it probably. 配信は多分しない。なぜかというと、時間がかかるし、他に配信したいゲームがいっぱいあるからです。Yeah, so the reason I won't stream it is because I have so many other games I want to stream. And streaming this game takes up a lot of time. Yeah, I feel like for the rest, if you guys are interested, you should go through it yourselves, maybe the anime or the games, and take this as a sort of an introduction to the series. Steven-san, thank you! キャラクターソングのこと、ダグさん。Apparently there's character songs for each of the characters. パンパンパン。面白い名前だね、それ。I still hear the cicadas in my head now. Same! まだ日暮らしの音が聞こえる、なんか頭の中で。Wow, that was spooky! Oh my gosh, that was spooky. 面白そう、確かに。すごい面白そう。ちょっとコピペして後で聞くね。Yeah, I'm gonna copy paste that character song Dagu-san recommended me and listen to it later because it sounds really funny. めっちゃ面白そう、タイトルからして。聞かないとこれ絶対に。Alright, I'll listen to that later. あんまりシリアスじゃないけど、だから面白いんでしょ？このシリアスのゲームをやってアニメを見てきた上で、そういうなんかシリアスじゃないキャラソンが出るのが、まあ面白いんじゃないの？そこが笑えるんじゃない？Let's see. You should sing the character songs in karaoke. If I could find karaoke versions, I should. It will be funny. Cicadas will haunt our dream. Yes. I love DRU and I've never watch the anime, play the game. Yeah, I love that song too. I've known it long before I started playing this game and even considered watching the anime. Yeah, I'm finally setting foot into the series, and I'm sure a lot of people are right now because of the new anime. Yeah, but I heard that the new anime you shouldn't watch without watching either the original anime or at least having knowledge from the games. So I'm gonna try to play the rest or watch the rest, and then I'll watch the new anime. Because, oh my gosh, there's just so much content. 8 whole chapters, which means like, it's this game times 8, guys. And you saw how many hours I spent playing this game. ちょっと待って、how many hours did I spend? It should say on Steam. 22.5 hours. はい、私はこのゲームを22.5時間もかけてやりました。はい。22.5時間だよ。And the only reason it was that long was probably because I was reading it out loud. You know what I mean? Yeah. やっぱり配信すると時間かかる。Yeah. It's long when I stream it. So I think for the rest I'll just play it on my own. 22.5 hours. Yep. And they're all on my channel if you want to go through all 22.5 hours. But if not, just get the game. It's free and play through it yourself. Yeah. I'm sure it'll take less time than it did for me. But yeah, Dear You is a really good song. Or You. Yeah. Really good song. I actually sang it in karaoke. For, which karaoke was it? I think it was my 100th sub special. Yeah, I sung it. Anyway, guys, I have so many fun things that I'm planning, and I hope you guys look forward to it. I can't really talk about it right now, but I'm so excited. Let's see. Hello, Super Cow-san. I don't know if you're here earlier, but welcome. Thank you. I don't think my PC could handle it. Really? But my PC is a potato too. Oh, I didn't know. We'll check the karaoke out. Thank you so much. It wasn't that good though. If you think about like when I sung You, because You is a really hard song to sing actually, but I'm practicing it. And next time I sing it, I won't disappoint you guys, I promise. I don't think anyone's disappointed though. It was just me going like, that wasn't the way I wanted it to sound. But, そうそう、You はね、この前、確かチャンネル登録者数100人のカラオケ配信で、確か、歌ったと思うんだけど。いい曲だよな。You know the game West of Loathing? I don't know the game. 何I'm gonna look it up. Oh my gosh, it looks very stick people. 10 out of 10 on Steam. Wow. What is this game? My PC can barely play that. Okay. I see. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba. Yeah, it's enjoyable seeing you do your best. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, I'm so glad I was able to finish it. 終わらせることができて本当に良かった。本当に Yes. It was 3 hours, but 3 hours and a half almost. But yeah, 10 out of 10. Time to get it. Steam says it's 10 out of 10. Time to get it. Alright, guys, next up, I should play I Love You, Colonel Sanders, the dating sim. Finger licking good dating sim. 次はサンダーズの、あれだよ。ギャルゲーみたいな、ギャルゲーじゃないか、乙女ゲームか。をやろうかな、今度。Yeah, Colonel Sanders, he's gonna be back, but this time in a dating sim. Yeah, I haven't downloaded just in case. I just don't know when I'm gonna play it. 一応ダウンロードはしてあるんだけど、そのゲーム。But I have so many games. Okay, let me introduce what I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow. ちょっと明日の配信のことを話します。はい。Yep, next stream is tomorrow, guys. This week has been many streams. I've been streaming a lot. Let's see. どこ行っちゃった？ I'm just pulling up my schedule so I know the times. Imagine how lovely Colonel Sanders would be. Yes, Colonel Sanders making his great return. Yes, we didn't get enough of him in Higurashi. So we need to visit him in the other game. Hi. Let's see. Future stream. Wendy's or McDonald's. You could pick a character? I don't know anything about this game, so... Wendy's maybe. Hi. This is my stream tomorrow. 明日の配信です。At 8 p.m. Eastern time, which is also 5 p.m. Pacific time and 10 a.m. Japan time. Yeah, so I'm gonna be playing in Bento. It's an iOS and Android app. It's like a puzzle game with it looks super wholesome and cute. It's got cats, cute cats, and bento. You make bento in a sort of a puzzle game way. So I'm very, very excited. This is gonna be tomorrow. はい。明日の配信なんだけど、明日のイースタンタイムの時間帯だと8時夜のなんだけど、パシフィックタイムは夕方の5時で、日本の時間っていうと、土曜日の朝の10時です。はい。インベントっていうゲームを実況していきます。はい。すごい可愛い感じなので、すごい楽しみにしています。はい。Yep. So that's my future stream. And one more thing. I have a poll on my Twitter right now because I'm going to be doing, I'm planning on doing a violin stream this weekend. And for those of you that are interested, I want to know what time works the best for you? 今週末の土曜日にバイオリンの配信をやろうと思うんだけど、見に来たい人は、どの日とどの時間が一番いいか、Twitter の方で投票を入れてくれれば、はい、ありがたいです。はい。Yep. So this is gonna be, yeah, you could just vote for this on my Twitter. Yeah, it's there. I'm gonna retweet it again. So yeah, either Saturday or Sunday, 12 p.m. or 2 p.m. Yep. Hi. Nyan Nyan game. Nya. 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 You want to hear me say nya? That bad? Nya nya. 2 p.m. Saturday sounds good. Okay, but can you go put it in my Twitter if you can? Thank you very much. But I'll keep that in mind. 2 p.m. Saturday. Okay, arigato. I see Sunday you're busy. I see. If you have a Twitter, if you could put in a vote, that would be really helpful. But I'll try to remember. Yeah. Thank you. Then Nya is cute. Yay, Nya Nya. Hi. Well then, I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you so much for coming. And I'm so glad we finished. Higurashi, thank you so much for sticking with me on this Higurashi journey. そうそう、最後までHigurashiの実況を付き合ってくれて本当にありがとう。長かったけどね。ありがとう、本当にみんな。見てくれて。Yeah. So, おつえむり everyone. And whoever comes tomorrow, see you tomorrow. はい、またね。またね。おつえむり。おつえむり。Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so happy for your support. はい、バイバイ。バイバイ。バイバイ。バイバイバイバイ。